It is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth.
And I'm standing, baby.
And via Zoom.
Funny.
Because when it's about sports,
you know it becomes our business, right?
I was like, she better get it right.
I like that.
And you know, the business be picking up. It be picking up.
Yes, indeed.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that, buddy. She got the glasses on. She got she want to add a whole new thing to the little twist of the thing. I like it.
You know it becomes our business, right?
Just saying. How we do it, right?
Yeah, hey, she coming through looking all educated.
I know, right?
That's what's up.
I look like I'm somebody's CEO of my own business. Oh, wait, I am.
And who knows sports, too.
Man, I'm 2 for 2, y'all. Keep it coming.
We got you. We got you. Shouts out to Miss Williams. Always the first to show love. We appreciate it. She says, hi, Fred. Hi, Stan. Hi, Bunny. Thank you very much.
The last one out.
Hey, we appreciate it. That's called loyalty. And we appreciate that for all those watching who haven't watched for 3 years or 3 days, whatever, 3 shows, whatever it is. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Your Wednesday night sports delight once again. Make sure y'all give us a follow on Facebook, on Twitter, right, on Instagram.
You forgot we follow people on. Exactly. Give us a follow on
one of social media sites.
Follow me on MySpace.
Right. Black Planet. We need all that. We need all the energy right now. And especially go on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe, click on that bell. Because anytime we go live, Bunny.
What you say?
I said anytime we go live on YouTube,
you will be notified.
There it is. And
it was an echo. I was trying to fix the echo, that's all.
It's all good. And for those who are watching on YouTube, make sure y'all go ahead and like the stream and share it as well. Let everybody know what's going on. We have another special show in store for each and every one of y'all.
Share it with your mama now.
There we go. I mean, it ain't like nothing else going on right now anyway, you know, besides our show, right? You know, ain't nothing else big going on around the world besides this show right now. So,
okay,
yeah, that's it. We are the show. We are the main attraction for the evening, and we definitely plan on being that business. Exactly. We got. U City.
Next week, I'm broadcasting live from Africa.
I hope not. Unless it's like just a, yes, we made it. Now I'm gonna take a trip.
Tell us about going to the motherland. Shout out, cause wait till our guest come on, tell us about the adventure he took this year. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we gonna definitely find out about that. So, how things are going with you, Bunny? Happy Hump Day to you.
Oh, happy Hump Day, gentlemen. I must say my brain was a little overloaded this afternoon because we still don't know who our president is officially. United States of I don't know. Chaos, United States of Division, United States of something. I don't know. I'm trying to find out who our president is. But other than that, I'm here. How y'all gentlemen doing?
Doing well. Same here. I actually got the tablet on the election, so hopefully we can have some breaking news like we have with the Blues winning the championship and some other great news that we have to share on this here show. Hopefully we can do the same thing with this election, but we shall see. Stan, how you been, bro?
I've been good, chilling. I started a new job on Tuesday, so you know that's that.
Here it comes.
What'd you say, Bunny?
Thickums. I'm sorry, that's my baby's.
I'm about to say, Stan, she got you.
Oh, man, I thought I pressed mute. My bad. I'm sorry. Today, my best, and of course, I would not call you that. Not in a million years.
So are we only talking about this because you just got caught? Like, what's going on, Bunny? I'm scared. I'm confused. What's happening? All I heard was thickums. Wait a minute. I don't look. We got something. Throw something.
I just told you. I am wearing a few hats today for this evening. I wear hats all day, but right now I'm wearing a few hats, multitasking. I thought I was on mute, but I call my baby Thickums because she's a little thick one.
She a little
That's all it is. And don't try to add nothing else to it.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I told you I wear a few hats. And right now I got
Smooth. Wait, I think was
no more jokes about the thickums, okay?
I think was most messed up about it.
Okay.
Other than that, no more jokes.
I'm like, Smoop, you have a daughter.
Right. I can't say nothing.
I can't with y'all. I can't.
Oh,
I cannot
man.
with y'all.
That's the fun that we have
This
on
been-
the
I can't with y'all,
Sports
boy.
Talk
I
Show.
tell you.
Hey,
Got myself in the foot, huh?
the gang is back. Yeah, you messed it up. Cause I'm thinking like Stan worked his butt off the last 5 months. Now you want to call him?
What's up, niggas? Wait a minute.
After all I put myself through.
First of all,
Yeah, I done lost such. Yeah, I see you think I'm. Oh,
a grown man get called delicious. You know what I'm saying? Grown man calling hey back. What? No. Hold on. No.
Hey,
I wouldn't do like that,
I
Stan.
don't
You did
know.
an amazing journey with your weight loss. I wouldn't do like that.
man, Lord.
All off track here. Anyway, gentlemen.
Into who?
man, you know how we do it, man. On the Platform Sports Talk Show.
Yeah.
Just be talking.
Once again, everybody, share, hit the like button.
And share it again.
There we go. So let's
There
get
one
right.
more time for the people in the back.
There we go. So let's get right into it, man. The round table begins right about now. What are your thoughts on Mike D'Antoni joining Steve Nash in Brooklyn?
I told y'all, KD and Kyrie ain't getting the ring. That's it. That was it. That's nail in the coffin. It's not happening. It's not happening. No. D'Antoni couldn't work with Melo. D'Antoni couldn't do it with Harden. D'Antoni couldn't do it with Harden and Russ. No.
And
I have absolutely no faith in Kyrie ever. I'm sorry.
And
No.
also,
at
yeah,
all.
let's add
I
Amari
got faith in
Stoudemire too.
Kyrie. D'Antoni's the coaching style. That's why all the people you just named, Stanton, will not get a ring. Well, at least when he was at the helm. His style doesn't work. It's not conducive to these all-stars and how they play. It's not sustainable. Running up and down, running, gunning it for 72 games as the start of the season. I think it's supposed to be December 22nd. They're doing 72 games. That's not sustainable. And then still do playoffs. No.
Then, as I said before, Amari Stoudemire, he's joined the staff as well. They trying to, have a nice.
Jay-Z
little-
need to just go ahead and let it go. Just
He
sell
already
your
did for
share.
real. Oh, you talking about like
Just
like-
sell your shares. Disconnect yourself from the Brooklyn Nets. It's not happening.
Wait, don't slam Brooklyn like they're not gonna be competitive. This is the East. We know
Right.
the Heat, the Bucks. If the Nets stay healthy, they're still gonna be in the playoffs. They will be part of the top 8. I'm telling you.
That's cool. They gonna be the top team going.
But you saying that Jay-Z
First
selling
round.
shares like they're gonna be
Outie.
garbage? Like no.
Right, because I
They
mean,
not
the
gonna go
last 2
Eastern
years they've been in the
Conference Finals
playoffs.
yet, but they're not gonna be garbage.
In the last 2 years they've been in the playoffs
Then
without
what?
having Kyrie and KD. So
And then what?
You add them.
And then
I mean, because of the
Right,
East
but I'm saying
Coast,
you add them.
East Coast, the Eastern Conference is not as competitive as the West. So, of course, that's why I said they definitely will get in the playoffs, and it will go far. Eastern Conference Finals, yeah, nah.
So we gonna say one player is gonna change that because you said they
I
they
mean, but
add
KD
big.
is a top 2 player. You ain't gonna like it, but he's a top 2 player.
Right. I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
You can't dispute
And
that.
if
That's-
he's
that's
healthy,
the-
if he's healthy, that's the key word. If he's healthy.
That's what I just
No, I'm
said,
sorry.
Bates and
3
Kyrie,
key
both of them
words.
gotta
3
be
key
healthy.
words. If he's healthy, then watch out for Brooklyn Nets. That's all
No,
I'm saying.
no,
That's what I'm saying.
no.
Then I don't know why
Brooklyn
you
been
hate them
tried
like
super
that.
team
You
after
don't like
super
them to give
team after
respect.
super team. It's not happening. Only way it happens is if
Yeah,
LeBron
okay.
go to Brooklyn. And that ain't happening.
Is it too early to start talking about NBA? Since I just said we're gonna hear about the season starting next month. The top 8 out of the Eastern Conference.
Talk about it,
Can we
buddy.
talk about it?
Or who, or whom, whichever one.
Talk
I don't have it in the order,
Oh.
but we still know the Celtics, we know the Bucks, we know the Heat, we know. Again, I'm gonna throw the Nets in there. We know what's the other
Pacers.
team?
Pacers,
Northeast.
Toronto Raptors.
Pacers, yeah. Toronto. That's what 6, 7 teams of his name.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? One more.
Goes to NBA app that is still installed on phone. I ain't never deleted.
I'm just saying, like you got the Nets in there. I'm sorry.
All right. I'm pulling up last year's. Let's see. Bucks, Raptors, Celtics, Pacers, Heat, 76ers.
That's it. Philly. I said Northeast. There we go.
Yeah. Yep. And then, like you said, Brooklyn, it's gonna be a battle. And like I said,
I'm telling you.
if he's healthy, then yeah, I can see Brooklyn definitely doing some things. And feel free, everyone, give us your thoughts on Stan's thoughts on KD.
Can I? Matter of fact, I'll take the KD.
You
All right, cool. Take all my
thoughts.
thoughts about KD. Let's call a spade a spade. Kyrie won a winning team. This is gonna be one of the rare situations where there's just honestly two star players. It's gonna be KD and Kyrie. KD has always had to play with at least two other star players, with the exception of the years after Harden left while he was still in OKC.
Right.
The only reason Golden State worked for him is because Steph and Clay realized what KD had, and they were like, all right, cool. We gonna utilize KD to the best of our ability, and at the same time, we still doing what we do. If KD doesn't maintain his health for this season, who's to say he's even gonna be healthy at the start of this season that starts next month? Let's be realistic. I guarantee you he's not playing more than half of the season if he comes back this season. He's not playing more than half. And so you got Kyrie, who's also injury prone and got, emotional issues, and on top of all that, thinks the goddamn world is flat. You just take all that, and then the realization he had with his time in Boston, when he was like, yeah, I had to call LeBron and let him know that I'm not that dude. I guarantee you after that year in Brooklyn, he's back in that I'm that dude mentality. And that's going to crush it.
So
that's not going to work.
So you feel the mental is going to affect everything?
Mental and physical, at least for KD.
Yeah, I feel you. Bunny, your thoughts on that? Maybe she stepped away for a second. And once again, everyone, your thoughts.
She muted this time, neither.
Yes, right. But once again, everybody, give me your thoughts on Stan's claim with the Brooklyn Nets, a team that has been to the playoffs the last 2 years without having Kyrie, and of course last year not having KD. If KD and Kyrie are healthy, where would they end up at the end of the season?
Button heads. Somebody asking for a trade. Somebody getting released.
Philadelphia 76ers.
Trash.
So, last week, Daryl Morey, former GM of the Rockets, now is like the president of basketball operations for the 76ers. And word is that he is trying his hardest.
Trash.
To try to get James Harden.
Trash. Trash. Tricky T trash.
Why you say
the
that?
boy can barely make it out the West.
That's why you
and the East is building.
It is.
No. Trash. Houston is not getting another ring. Harden ain't getting one. I'm sorry, he ain't getting it. I feel like that's been that's been my stance, at least.
Yeah.
Ever since I've been on this dang old show.
Well, no, I don't know, because you was trying to convince earlier me and B. Baker about him and Westbrook doing damage.
Oh yeah, I was, because I thought it was, and then the emotions, I was like, y'all still
yeah.
doing the same motion.
Yeah. You saw what happened. Second round exit, right? Even though it was against
COVID
Lakers,
couldn't even help.
still.
COVID couldn't even help.
You said Kobe.
No, COVID.
Oh, I'm about to say.
COVID couldn't even help.
Yeah. It's just something about, Harden just can't get over that hump. The best chance was when him and CP3 were together, but then CP3 got hurt in Game 6 of that Western Conference Finals, and Houston hasn't been the same since. But they were talking about maybe trading Ben Simmons and some other guys like Tobias Harris over to Houston for Harden. I don't know. We'll see. Let me see. Yeah, I guess Bunny's still gone.
No, she's here.
Okay. Yeah. So
Bunny's still gone? No, she here. Those were her words.
So Bunny, what are your thoughts on Stan's take about KD and Kyrie, if you heard it earlier?
I think they will be fine as long as they stay healthy. As you even said, smooth. The KD pre-injury was cold. Granted, Warriors won a ring without him, but they didn't win the other two. By themselves. They needed him. He's still dominant. He's still does what he does. Kyrie, I know, suspect as far as being clutch. I think hopefully with maturity, he would definitely be that go-to guy now. Like, y'all heard he was talking about LeBron on the low regarding that being a clutch person take the, last shot.
Right.
I said the same thing about Kyrie a little bit, but yeah. They'll be fine. Like I said, they'll get in the playoffs. I don't know how far, but I don't see Eastern Conference Finals as of now.
Stand over here shaking his head. He's convinced he ain't gonna see no magic coming out from Brooklyn.
No. Most magic Brooklyn had was with D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
Please. Oh, you serious? Bye.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were the Nets doing before that, buddy? Let's not forget the Joe Johnson days.
D'Angelo Russell, you acting like he was all that. That's why Lakers let him go and send him to the
I mean, all I'm gonna say is, if you playing like that and they take you to the All-Star game, then I guess you all that.
From the East, certain people are really good. We know that, and sometimes it's not that hard. If you're on the West, competition's stiffer. Why does D. Lillard, keep getting left off the All-Star team? Come on now.
Who?
If he's in the East, it'll be a no-brainer.
Y'all want to talk about that broken thing too?
Go ahead.
Whoa, wait. We talking about D. Lillard. We not talking about no.
Broken.
Not going against
broken.
Dame Dollar.
Broken.
Are we talking about the same person? Please tell me.
Dame Dollar is barely making change. Broken.
Please tell me that.
Broken.
Stand to come with the hot take.
Please tell me you so drunk off the Trump Kool-Aid that you can't focus right now. Please tell me that's free.
Wow.
I can't believe this dude came with this though. Seriously.
I mean, okay, so yeah, he's great in the regular season, right? Playoffs, what's he do?
Dame Dollar does not choke in the playoffs, bro.
He doesn't make it far in the playoffs either.
Statistician for you real quickly. So keep talking so I can bring this stats.
I'm about to say he may not choke, but it'll go down the wrong pipe. He might cough a little bit, but no, he's not gonna choke. But I honestly, Dame is gonna die by loyalty, and I don't think he realizes that, because it's been how many years since LaMarcus Aldridge left Portland?
But they actually still doing good without LaMarcus. I'm just saying, with McCullough and him there, they've been holding it down.
They've been holding it down.
The Spurs, he did good his first year. Second year, you forgot he was on the squad. IJS.
I mean that is true. They be holding it down on the beach after they get eliminated from the playoffs. Like they be holding it down. They be holding down their drinks. They be holding down their seats. They be holding down the sand.
That's like most of the teams that have two good stars. You still need that one other piece to get you over that hump. And that's
they're not going to give it to him.
Just one more piece.
They're not going to give it to him.
I didn't even say big three. I just said one more piece.
They're not going to give it to him. They would have done it by now.
And that's why you say Dame is...
Dame is going to die by loyalty. And then also he's going to die by the criticism of him leaving. If he does leave, which people ain't going to realize that's what he needs to do. But
the
as far
organization is complacent on just reaching to second round. That's it.
Dame like to wave goodbye, but then forget that he's going to join them in about 15, 20 minutes. That's my thing. You can't say, I guess it's not a bye, it's a see you soon. So that's what that wave was. Like, keep my seat warm, I'm coming. So, I don't see it. Dame had the chance. Back when was that? When he sent them to through the second round or to the second round for the first time in all them years? How long ago was that?
They went to the rest of the conference final.
No, I was talking about that one when he hit that big shot, and they were like, "Oh, sending it past the first round for the first time." Huh?
That last play, you talking about playoffs of 2019?
Yep.
No. Like way back when it was the first time they made it past the first round.
That was against the Houston Rockets when it was Harden and Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
That year.
Okay. That was that man's best bet. After that, because I don't think Golden State was that dominant at that time. I think Mark Jackson was still coach, I believe, around the time Dwight Howard.
Mark Jackson last year, there was 2012-2013 season. That sound right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. We can.
Well, let me ask you this. So when LaMarcus left, free agent shopped around. Do you think he knew back then that they weren't going to try to build anything around them? Because Dame Dollar was clowning then.
You said he was what?
Clowning.
Oh, he was clowning. Okay.
He didn't want to stay there. He still decided to leave rather than try to build something with, Lillard. So it's like, you think he knew the organization wasn't going to try to go far and get somebody else?
He might have seen it. I honestly feel like it's the way that LaMarcus Aldridge did the exit. He was like, he was gone. It was like one day he's there, next day he gone. And Dame has I'm gonna stand by this. His loyalty is gonna cost him because you can't stay loyal to a team that is expecting you to be the front man and expecting CJ to be the 2 guy, but then you don't have a solid and consistent 3 for the past 3-4 seasons. It's like how much more do you have to sit through to realize that maybe you got to leave to come back? You got to leave, do it, and then come back.
Oh, something that LeBron James did that people were criticizing that.
You gotta gain that wisdom. If you can't get it on your own, no matter how hard you work for it, because I'm not gonna say Dame don't work for it, because Dame works for it. It's just Dame time ain't lining up with Dame time. It's like, oh, it's Dame time.
Wait, is it him or, like you said earlier, the organization? Because I'm telling you, like when he's been getting cheated off of the All-Star roster, it's like, how y'all forgetting this dude? He's impactful. But like I told you, take the same stats, talent he has, and put it on the Eastern Conference teams. It's a no-brainer. He's still doing his thing. I mean, you can build an organization around him, which the Trailblazers are kind of doing, but they're not doing it fast enough.
Okay.
Or something else I want to add in.
Yep.
Maybe certain free agents don't want to go to Portland, period.
It's a small market city like OKC, so I understand that as well. And so that's why I said that LaMarcus realized they weren't going to go any further. He said, let me jump ship just to explore bigger city options over still trying to build something with Dame, and it's going to take too long.
Yeah.
Because they still haven't gotten further. Without LaMarcus, they're still going to play out, but they haven't gotten far like, the Blazers of the Cliff Robinson years, the Clyde Drexler years. They ain't got there.
Right. And before we continue, for those watching for the first time and you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching under our guest page or one of our personal pages and you're leaving comments and questions, we cannot see it. Make sure you go to our page on Facebook, the platform Sports Talk Show. Then leave your comments, your questions, everything that you have to offer so we can read it on the screen and interact with you. Stan, you go ahead now with yours.
So, Bunny, are you say that Dame leaves the West, goes to the East? Are you then saying that his dominance will show more because it's in the East?
His dominance is showing in the West, though. It's not a surprise.
Or will it be more highlighted in the East?
Like I said with the All-Star roster, his competition is different, but he's still doing his thing on the West. But if he goes to the East, it's a no-brainer. The guards they have over there are fine, but they're not. Here, let me just find something so I can compare it to real quickly.
All right, so.
Okay, let's just say Kyrie before he got to the Nets against Dame. Who would you take?
You said Kyrie before he went to the Nets?
Yeah, so Kyrie with the Cavs. Or, I mean, not the Cavs, the Celtics.
Yeah,
let me take Cavs too.
Celtics Kyrie? Well, shoot, Celtics Kyrie kind of hurt the Celtics. So I wouldn't take Kyrie from the Celtics. I wouldn't take that Kyrie. No.
Okay.
I think the only Kyrie that I would, say can go up against Dame in a fair battle would be the Kyrie from the year of and the year after the championship.
That's fair. Okay.
Got a comment from Ms. Williams. She says LeBron definitely learned some things while he was gone from Cleveland that helped him when he came back. Of course, having a good coach and a good supporting cast helped a lot too. Which is definitely true because he didn't have a good supporting cast when he first was at Cleveland.
Yeah.
You had a lot of.
That's true. So you're right, Ms. Williams.
Who? What?
That's true.
First of all, Danny Green was on that team.
A very inexperienced Danny Green. He wasn't the same Green that he is now, or with Toronto or San Antonio. He was that youngin. But everybody else, you was like, okay, he's a has-been. He can't bring nothing to the table that can help LeBron James. So that's why he made that move that people, like I said, still want to criticize. But he did what was best for him because he knew he couldn't do it at that time in Cleveland.
So I'm gonna just throw these random guards out here, and y'all tell me again. D Lillard against them. From Kyle Lowry, Kemba Walker, Trae Young. I'm just saying, I easily could see him. It's a no-brainer. He would never have a problem making All-Star rosters. He wanted to be put on. He would be voted in like that.
Going up against Kemba Walker and Trae Young?
Kyle Lowry.
And Kyle Lowry? First of all, you disrespectful to Trae Young. He will nutmeg the mess out of damn leg.
Disrespectful to Trae? I'm not saying Trae ain't good. And again, there's a difference between good and All-Star. FYI. The difference.
Didn't Trae Young make it?
Trae Young is good.
I was about to say, didn't Trae Young make the All-Star team?
But now I see where you're getting at, Bunny. If I had a choice, I hear you. I hear you, little one. But if I had a choice out of all those guys, I would, of course, would choose Dame. But who would you choose? Stan.
Against all, like, just those three?
Right.
I would pick Kemba. Definitely pick Kemba Walker.
Kemba over the okay.
And so that thing. Shouts out to the little one. She said, "Okay, all right." So,
the meeting has something really nice.
So before we bring in our special guest, Stan, did you have a chance to check out the Thunderdome yet?
Like live?
Yes.
No, next week will be my first time to like really be able to do it because with my new work schedule, I'll actually be off.
And what's your thoughts with everything with Roman Reigns and how that's going? Because to me, give them an Oscar because that storyline is incredible with him and the Usos.
Apparently somebody leaked plans.
I did see that.
So if the plans go like they said, I am interested to see how that'll work because we've never seen them in a faction setting, and we've never seen like a true family as a faction. So that's going to be a different kind of chemistry right there. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely excited for that. I'm excited for the way that the story is going. I read some more rumors about possible matches for Roman Reigns and the Universal title, one of which was Big E, so I'm excited about that. Mm-hmm. All in all, WWE, in my mind, is headed in a great direction with their storylines that they're putting out right now. With the exception of the Rey Mysterio storyline, I have no clue what's going on here.
Please end that. Like, come on.
I have no clue how old his daughter is, but I'm like...
Our special guest, like, he laughing himself, like, let it go.
It's ridiculous.
Where that Frozen song? Let it go, let it go.
She can sing it probably.
I'm about to say, what you asking us for? I heard the child over there. You got one? I don't know what it is. I know the parody version that I heard on YouTube. Other than that, I don't know the real one. And I can't sing the parody because it was very, very, very profane.
Said very, very. Yeah, I heard Frozen 2 is
there were three varies. Very, very, very profane. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Frozen 2 apparently got into some real stuff.
Some issues.
I mean, well, okay, so I saw the first Frozen and still don't know none of the songs. I only saw it one time. But even the first one got into some real stuff.
The first one was fine, but the second one
The first one was fine. Hold on. No, it wasn't.
Like Frozen 2 or no?
You were teaching that's not a good thing to show kids. It was like a true love's kiss will fix everything. He go to do it. Oh, you thought I loved you? I'm like, whoa! You showing that to kids? Oh, you thought I loved you?
Hey,
that's right.
Some kids see that in their house every day.
Okay, all the kids ain't got to see it.
Some people reality.
Man, people watching this show like they're talking about Frozen right now. What's happening?
Look, and Frozen was talking about real stuff, just like we talk about real stuff on the Platform Sportstalk show. Brought it all back around.
It is. Thank you. Now, with that being said, it's time for all watching for the first time. The reason why y'all tuned in, this man here is a high school teacher. They say he's a football coach. They say he was a pro athlete. They say he's also a poet. They say he's an actor, personal trainer, community advocate, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and most importantly, per his bio, he is a man of God and a Christian.
Amen.
So,
Right now.
without any further ado, we're going to bring into the getaway now, Mr. Bernard Quinn. How you doing, sir?
Yo. What up, family? What's going on, Smooth? Stan, Bunny, what's good, man?
Hey, we good, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me. Shout out to everybody listening. And hey, man, I've been back here and enjoying myself, man. Hey, I keep the laughs coming. That's what it's all about.
Hey,
Why? Because it was Stan being thickums that got the joke started.
Hey. We
You gonna say it again, Bunny?
Now, allow me to interject on that one. Because I'm a big brother, too. So when you refer to Stan as thickums, man law violation code 1.1-705 in the rule book.
Talk about it.
It clearly states that you cannot refer to a man in a sexual undertone over a certain amount of weight. You cannot call a grown man delicious, and he's over 250 plus. You can't call a man thickums. None of that. Hey, keep that stuff inside the house. You can't call a man thickums on air.
My mama watching. I don't know if she is.
I know. Look. I think my mama watching.
As I
Dang.
Shout out to moms and the queen if y'all watch it.
I was calling her. That's thickums I'm referring
How
to.
did you just call that man thickums on
That's my nickname.
On the worldwide internet.
wide web?
hey, she confessed she slipped up. She thought she had the mute button on. Hey, it happens on live TV that's being broadcast around the globe. It's how it is, Bunny.
Hey, raw and uncut. Salute.
But God
Raw
bless
and
you.
uncut.
Hey, tell her we said.
Gracias.
Here we go.
Oh, that's
And
so cute.
someone who you may know says, "Hey, baby, you got L.A. Quinn. Who was that?"
L.A. Quinn, that is the heir to my throne. That is my rose petal to my feet. That is my.
Come right now. Let 'em know.
What's up, Queen?
You should have seen the shoulder when he let that
How you doing, beautiful? I appreciate you tuning in. The wife out there,
right,
y'all.
now.
Shout out to the
Shout out
wife.
to the wife. Woo!
Yes. Thanks for tuning in.
We appreciate you.
Mrs. Quinn, please share to all your peoples right now so they can all tune in and enjoy this wonderful show.
Everybody.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. So before we continue on, man, this man, he came through bearing gifts.
That's right.
So why don't you go ahead
snap.
and present things to us real
In a
quick.
marble bag. Would you look at that? That's a granite countertop bag right there.
It is a granite countertop bag. My wife has great taste.
You showing the wrong side. The gold on the other
Look,
side.
look, do the gold on the other side.
Turn around.
Oh,
Bow, there it is.
Wow. Y'all see it.
She probably looking like, I pitched this with the gold on. You gonna show the back side.
So the back side of the black and gold. Let's speak for itself. Now, don't kill me, babe. My bags were blocked in, so I figured I'd shop LA Connections, y'all. That's a shameless plug.
LA Connect.
snap.
Hey,
That's right, baby. Shop.
hey, that's all we do here. Plug.
That's plug, baby.
I need a slight voiceover. Smooth, give me some music. LA Connections.
So I came bearing gifts, man, and I'm a football addict.
snap.
So I don't know if
That's
y'all can
dope.
see that out there in the internet world, but that is the Triple G 3G God Gas and Groceries official mini helmet. So
that's
just wanted to present
cool.
that to the fellas at the show, man.
that's
There
cool.
you go.
Oh, we got a helmet for the table.
That's right. Got a helmet for the table. And just in case the sideline, the water people aren't doing their job, we got water bottles, gentlemen.
Hey, now.
There you go.
Water bottles.
We got
Hydration.
Hydration.
Because you got to stay hydrated.
That's right. And last but certainly not least, for the laptop,
Stickers.
got the sticker plug. There we go, man.
Okay.
Bam.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate y'all having
And
me.
all that.
Man, definitely our pleasure, man. There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Bam.
And wife, I stole one of your bags, so
Does it fit?
charge it to my head and I'm a heart. Yeah, you know
Oh,
what?
perfect fit.
Perfect fit. Especially with
Hold on.
especially with
You
the
gotta
same
do that a
wave
little
cap.
bit. Hold on. There we go.
I was like, all right.
Especially with the wave cap, my brother.
The crushed velvet.
You guys killing them with the crushed velvet.
Red platinum. Line, you know.
There we go. Hey, she got the
Shout out to
website.
Bella.
There we go. Plug.
Plug. That's what I'm
There it
talking about.
is.
There you go.
Plug. That's what we all do. We all entrepreneurs doing
yeah.
our own thing, man. So
Shop LA Connections.
with that being said, how has things been with you since the pandemic hit?
Since the panoramic.
Yeah, the panoramic.
Right.
Shout out to one of my family members. I ain't gonna say his name.
Oh no, I keep it a buck here, man. You gotta go ahead and say it.
The panorama. I'm like Panamera. Pam Anderson.
Panama City.
Panama City. What are you? He talking about? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, cuz the Panamera. I was like, yeah, I drove one of them before.
Panamera.
Like, bro, that's a car.
Oh.
So he
said. Wow.
Yeah, he said Panamera.
Yo,
you know, and it might have been the Hennessy talking a little bit.
You know.
I gave him a pass, you know. So it is what it is. Shout out to Cuz. But no, man, I'm gonna be real with you guys, man. The pandemic has been an eye opener for me, not only as a husband, as a father, as everything that I am, all titles aside, man. Like, I've taken this time really to connect on a deeper level, you know, with my true self as a man, and you know, get some things together on my end, and it's just been a blessing time, man. You know, it's one of them things that we realize from the time that we have, the biggest commodity is time, and it's the most valuable, you know. And you know, they sat us down in March quick.
Man.
With me being an educator, they was just like, it's over, you know, remote learning. Y'all gonna sit in front of these computers, strap these kids down for 3-4 hours a day and let them learn. And the world just went haywire after that, you know. And for me as an educator, it was an out-of-body experience. But I think once I realized the value of time, it helped tremendously. Because again, we're all in the same boat. You know, you got some people that were trying to reinvent the wheel a little bit, but when it was all said and done, man, it was just a grace and mercy scenario. And hey, if the kid can turn the work in, let them turn the work in, even if it's a little late, you know. But when it's all said and done, don't be out here slinging y'all kids Chromebooks, man. Like,
Right.
Who does that?
or be in the background, butt ass naked. Again, that your child is on.
She did. Who is that? Hey, bro, she hit that.
Oh, but did you see the bonnet?
Hey, the bonnet and everything. She was being a mother in that moment. She wasn't giving a damn who saw.
Baby New Year.
That's Mother Millennium right
So,
there.
yeah.
She don't give a damn.
Not at all. So yeah, bro, the pandemic it's been a blessing. It really has, man. It's been an eye opener at times. Shout out to everybody, man, who stayed connected and committed during that time during the whole time frame. Because true people in this situation, not to get off subject, because I know we're talking about sports here, so I'm ready to dive into that too. You had people who, I mean, literally, divorce court was down. Lines. People was going to get divorces left and right, man, and it was kind of scary, you know. So shout out to the real couples, man, who even when the mask came off, you saw who you married. You know, it put you in a situation where you had to realize, like, man, do I really like this dude, or do I really like old girl? Yeah.
Like, oh, you do this often. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So I guess I just didn't notice that because I ain't here. Right. Do you always breathe like that? Like, what are you doing?
You have to treat like that? Like, really? Like, this is what we doing?
Hey, you blinking a little loud out here.
So, yeah. Scuba dive.
What are you doing?
Hit him with the astronaut. Roll over.
So, as a teacher, what would you say to people who be like, oh, okay, well now he or she is not going to the classroom, so it should be a lot easier because now you're just teaching at home via Zoom or via whatever. What do you say to those people?
Honestly, if they're not dealing with it from a frontline perspective, I would actually tell those people to have a stadium worth of seats,
And they can't even have it because you can't go to stadiums.
Right, and enjoy the view from the mezzanine level. Because the thing of it is this: from an educator standpoint, we are all dealing with something that has not been done before. You're telling me that you're going to take a school-age child from the ages of 5 all the way up to 18, and you're going to tell these kids from 8:30 in the morning to possibly 3, sometimes even 4 o'clock p.m. that you're going to sit in front of this laptop and you're going to learn staring at a monitor all day.
They basically volunteering because they're not getting paid for that. That's a work shift.
Yes, it is.
That's like if you were to be at work for free.
For free. A whole 8-hour shift and you staring at a computer. So think about what that does to the mind of a 6 and a 7-year-old child, 8-year-old child. They are livid. They don't know how to function. They can't sit still. Man, I've seen, and y'all have seen the videos, just like I have the viral videos. We getting laughs out of them, but you see kids hitting handstands and kids flipping and kids playing the game and all kind of other stuff and forgetting to turn their mics off and mute the cameras. I mean, turn their cameras off and mute the mics and all that. So it's an attention span thing with these kids, you know, and if you want to keep it to a certain minimum in terms of the hours, that's one thing. But some kids at certain ages and certain demographics, they need that hands-on love and they need that individual attention. But it's just, you know, the climate we in right now, you know, there's certain hybrid models that's working, some that's not. You got kids that's going to schools in groups. They go on Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday, and off on Fridays.
The whole hybrid thing.
Yeah. So we all in the beta testing stage right now. So, you know, shout out to all the educators and the admin teams that's working tirelessly, man, to keep our babies on the forefront of doing great things. But it's rough.
Yeah. Got a few comments from Miss Williams. She says, or maybe pre-sports and the pandemic, how did it affect your school?
Man, shout out to the East Side Flyers, man. I'm actually over at Wyvetter Young, which is the alternative school and alternative campus to East Side High School. And man, you know, we just came off a great state championship run. You know, like I said, shout out to the coaches over there, Coach Sunk. Flyers football, you know, again,
It's a grown man team.
Historic sport over there. I mean, football. It's the city. They don't call it City Champions for nothing, man.
Hey, anytime you got LeBron James producing your school's football team,
shout out to 89 blocks.
Anytime you got LeBron James as a player, because we hip, we know what it is. Them some abnormal kids over there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, you getting the best of the best, and like I said, nowadays, you know, you got kids that want to play for these top-notch programs, and they want to play good. They want to look good. It ain't just about going over there and getting dripped out and wearing the dope uniforms and sponsored by Nike and all that. It's about putting in the work and really, you know, doing what you got to do as an athlete, you know, student athlete first, or should I say scholar athlete? I prefer that term a little better. You got to put the work in the classroom first. So from a sports angle, you know, for me, a lot of us were looking at this like, man, you know, what is this going to look like? Are they going to let these kids play? You know, whatever the situation is. So, you know, from, you know, an educator and a coach's standpoint, you know, I actually took, you know, a backseat this season, you know, just because, like I said, you know, my sons are playing sports, you know, they're football players. So from a dad role, I'm like, all right, well, you know, do I, you know, keep going 14, 15 years strong and, you know, keep the coaching thing going, or, you know, do I do the family thing and, you know, just, you know, so I kind of opted out. If that makes sense. You know, we throwing that word around a lot. You know, again, you hear over in the college ranks and the pro ranks, you know, everybody's opting out. So for me, it was one of the things where I bowed out gracefully this season just to kind of see how the landscape was playing itself out with the sports world, you know, and then just get to enjoy the game from a dad perspective, man. I get to sit and watch my kids in the stands, and, you know, my wife goes crazy with me. So it's dope. You know, I get to see the game just slow down, because I'm used to being on the sidelines, whether it was a coach or a player. Like I hated going in the press boxes. I never liked being in the press box. I'm a sideline guy. So watching from the stands is even still an out of body experience for me. But no, that was a great question. That, from my perspective, that kind of changed the landscape of our whole views on sports, because it made you dig a little deeper, you know, into what it was, what was important to you, you know. And you saw a lot of guys in the league, man, that opted out, and a lot of people were pissed. They were like, oh man, you know, The question is commitment and is he tough or is he? No, man, this dude is making millions of dollars playing a sport that he loves. So why question his integrity or his toughness because he chose to make a informed decision for his family? And honestly, I mean, it's this whole COVID-19 thing. It's impacted all of us in some type of way. Whether it's a close friend or relative or someone that we love. We're losing people. Like, this thing is real. So.
Definitely true. More comments from Ms. Williams. She says remote interactions are much harder than in person, even for adults. Then first, like, the kids don't have no recess.
Not at all. And especially
recess be lit.
Recess be cracking, man. I can remember back in the day, we had the red rubber balls and we out there getting the tether ball tournament.
Look, you talking about the rubber ball and the tether ball, the merry-go-round, that instrument of death?
Yeah. I remember they took our merry-go-round off the playground. I remember watching from our third floor window. Shout out to Bridgeway Elementary. Mama Hoyman, if you watching. Mama Sue, if y'all watching. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I can remember watching from the third floor window as, 4th or 5th grade kid. I'm looking, I'm like, where are they taking our merry-go-round to? And it became evident to me later on from my gym teacher. He was like, oh, yeah, that was a health hazard.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you trying to explain to an 8-9-year-old kid what a health hazard is? I don't know what that is. I just want to go out there and spin around on it till I'm about to throw up. And that was fun for me.
Yeah, but you got the one kid that just held on and ran until it just couldn't spin no more. And then you got that one kid.
Oh, yeah.
Who try to jump on, and that's where the health hazard comes in.
That's where the health hazard comes
in. Cause concussion.
Concussion protocol.
You can't spell it at 8, but you got one now.
CTE.
Right, you can show feel it.
Yeah.
You can't spell the word concussion at 8, but you got one. Like,
and like you said, now we got the whole CTE thing with the league, and like you said, man, it's just that concussion protocol that we learned that early, didn't we?
Right. Look.
And then shout out to the whole
before it was a thing. Just out there, bing. You all right?
Yeah, you all right? Going back in there, you just got your bell rung. What?
I don't even have a bell.
What Taco Bell?
What?
I'm Batman.
What?
I'm Batman. What are you talking about?
Hey, actually, I discovered there's one merry-go-round
left in the entire city.
I'm not gonna say where it is on live because they might go try to take it, and I needed to be there until I have kids so they can understand.
Where it is.
It's dangerous.
Don't even step on it.
You gonna be the toughest kid at your school. Why? Because you finna get 7 concussions in 30 minutes. So you finna walk all of them off.
Not 7.
The circle of death.
The circle of death before COD stood for Call of Duty.
Shouts out to Jonathan McDaniel. He said earlier, thank God he wasn't in the social media era thank God that the social media era wasn't going on like it was when he was, back in school doing his days. Cause it would have been crazy.
Oh yeah, man. We look at it from athletic perspectives, man, when it comes to either high school, college, even playing at the pro level. All that stuff was still in its infancy. Like, I can vividly remember, like, in being in my dorm room. I can remember when Facebook was invented, man. And, I'm showing my age a little bit.
Back when it was a collegiate network.
It was just a collegiate network. It really was.
Now look at it.
And now look at it.
OnlyFans popping. Like, just posting links every day.
I could take that conversation totally left field with these only. Hey man, look, y'all want husbands? Stop putting these OnlyFans pages up. You keep yourself sacred.
Cool, bro.
Yourself sacred.
That's a whole other.
That's a whole other topic in itself.
Lord, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
OnlyFans.
Not even gonna go there.
So earlier, you heard Stan Bunny and I talking about NBA.
Yes, sir.
The whole KD. I saw you laughing and shaking your head a little bit. So, what were your thoughts about what Stan was saying earlier about KD and Brooklyn Nets?
Hold on, before we go further, I keep looking at this. Can I get one of these in a real helmet?
In a real helmet?
Cause
I had to holler at my shut guy. He can definitely give you the upsized version.
Cause I'm gonna need it.
The supersized version.
I'm gonna need the biggest one you got. All right,
Got
I need it to fit.
I got you.
I'm gonna walk around just running and jumping.
Like my man on Facebook that was going around tackling.
Tackling. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Big prime time. He was like, you such and such.
You such and such.
And that was real too.
That was real. That was real reaction.
You can tell by the body moves. Like, oh yeah, you just got laid out, and you ain't got no pads on. Yeah, you feeling that?
Yeah, all in your sternum.
He caught one dude on the roller skating rink.
Oh man. Yeah, curtains. I'm surprised he didn't get admitted after that. But yeah, hey, I have a confession to make. I am a Celtics fan. I am. Shout out to Clover Nation. I am a huge Boston fan. My heart kind of sunk a little bit because of the whole Kyrie scenario. Now, here's my thing about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving single-handedly diva'd up our locker room. And I said it. I made up a word. I said diva'd.
No, it'll be a real word. It's probably in the dictionary somewhere.
It's probably
Apostrophe D.
Apostrophe D. There you go. And we're going to put that in Urban Dictionary. He diva'd up our locker room. Now, if you're going to be a leader, be a leader. Lead by action. Lead by deed. Lead by doing what it is you're doing. Don't be a cancer in the locker room, man. You know, and again, it's, you know, you got the authoritarian and then you got the authoritative approach. When you at that level, man, and guys getting paid millions of dollars, you can't sit here and talk to me just in any kind of way and think I'm going to go out here and ball with you and we ain't going to have no problem or words after this game over.
That's big facts.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff carried over to the court, man. And Kyrie's he's a hell of a ball player, man. He's, you know, again, all-star level guy. But he divided up that locker room, man, and it showed. So, like I said, shout out to KD, shout out to Kyrie, man. I hope they can pull it together out there in Brooklyn.
No.
I hope so. No. And as far as KD, that's his squad, man. I want to interject that. That's his team. Kyrie will have to take a back seat this year.
No.
He ain't hearing it.
He ain't hearing it.
He ain't hearing it. He is so anti-KD.
KD had one team, and he left them when he couldn't get the job done.
Oh, you went there, didn't you? You went there, didn't you?
He always does.
I mean, all right, cool. 3 words. Am I wrong? Another 3 words. Where's the lie? More 3 words.
You gonna do that?
Where's the leadership?
You doing that right now?
3 more words.
Oh, come on.
3 more words.
3 more.
Who's his barber? I just had to throw that one in there. Who's his barber? That's the last set of 3.
Hey, why? Why did you do that? Why?
No, why did he do that? That's the question.
Apologize. Y'all know his hair look like crushed ice. Like, what are we talking about?
Man.
I'm sorry. That man hair look like crushed ice. I'm sorry. Somebody had to say it. I love KD.
I've never crushed ice.
That man hair look like crushed ice. I don't care what you say.
No,
it does. And I was wrong. I'll admit it. I love KD. But dude, anytime they got memes on the internet of people combing your hair,
Right.
Virtually. Did you see the dude giving the virtual taper?
Man, I was like, oh. The whole time I'm watching the video, I was like, bro, just don't clip your screen. Just don't clip your screen. Don't get too close. Don't get too excited.
And crack your screen.
Man.
But yeah, man, all them billions of dollars and I know they had a barber in the bubble. Did he even make it in the? I don't think he made it to the bubble.
Nah, he ain't make it to the bubble. There's been since he entered
Into the league.
like he looks like he looks like by the head the one African that stole all the 59-cent daily meals, and then he just got tall and developed what he called muscle, what we call body fat, and just went to the league. But he left his brush.
Hey man.
And in his homeland he don't believe in brushes, apparently.
Hey, we're gonna have to find something to throw because we got to put a flag on the plate, man. Shout out to PG County, man. Hey, some of the best ballers in the world, but get my brother a barber.
Man, as a matter of fact, Wale, I'm disappointed in you, and now I'm probably one of your biggest fans. You ain't help your Washington brother.
You did not help your Washington brother.
You ain't told him to grow locks or something.
And direct him to the nearest
right there.
The best barber.
Cause Wale ain't always had locks. He had a fade before.
He did.
He know the barber. He know who to go to. That's just a damn shame.
Yeah.
You couldn't find one in California, neither.
I mean, we talking about $100 million.
Or New York.
$100 million guy, man, and you couldn't go get a $30 haircut.
I mean, in New York, they call the waves the butters. You couldn't find somebody to trim the. Well, I guess he got margarine. You couldn't find somebody to trim the margarine.
This man say margarine.
Oh, gosh. We got a comment from Jonathan. He says, Katie don't need a barber like he don't need Kyrie.
Ooh. Ooh. All the smoke.
Hey,
All the smoke.
if he, all right, y'all say he don't need. All right.
Hey, he needs wave grease. He need that old school palm. Y'all remember the palm?
The pomades.
Yeah, straight palm. Make your wrist hurt rubbing together.
Hands
Like, you all right?
red.
Like, what's my hands on fire?
Man.
My hands hurt.
Boy, them days right there. Them days.
What you mean, them days right there? Still gotta go through it. These waves don't happen.
As you see, I don't.
That is a thick wave cream I gotta deal with. Damn it, just gotta.
Say smooth. Say all he gotta do is stay smooth.
There it is. There it is. I like that.
You be putting beard balms in, they be thick. You gotta.
Yeah, that's true.
So you,
And tell LeBron to come home. Y'all know what I mean too. Come on home, LeBron. You got the hole in the roof.
hey, I ain't gonna lie. When they caught the back of his head
Oh my God.
during the bubble, I was like, hey, bro, all right,
Your
cool. So
Your sunroof is open, sir.
the mic assumptions and comparisons are gonna be there forever.
And I love LeBron, man. I do. You know?
Whether you do it or not, I don't know if you're trying to hold on to the hair just to be like, I'm not like Mike. Like, even Kobe did it. Like, come on.
Even Kobe.
You got to know when to let it go.
Yeah. I'm glad Kobe cut the microphone.
You
know what?
You recall one of the first
shout out to
games
Kobe.
that the Lakers had with AD.
Stop talking. Why was I thinking about that earlier today?
And AD was like,
Your hair.
don't you want to probably do this to your hair?
Your hair. He was like, oh. Then he came back with a headband.
I
Like,
saw that.
And that was
I
all
saw
bad.
that. And
Honestly-
and it was on ESPN too. That was the bad part about it.
I feel like LeBron just needs to listen to his barber and just sit the hell down during the hair plug treatments. Because I know you got to work out. I know you got to keep your body in pristine shape. But sweat don't mess that up.
Sweat-
You got to let that sit. You got to go talk to Jason Whitlock and them.
Not the look.
Oh,
that's
God, not
Jason
him.
Whitlock. No, I'm gonna do you one better.
Don't say his name.
Say it.
Carlos Boozer.
Oh, I thought he was going to say that.
No, Carlos Boozer.
Why did I just forget his name? I thought you were going to say, I just forgot.
name.
Kenyon Martin. No, not Kenyon Martin. Karan Butler.
Butler.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Kenyon Martin, not Kenyon Martin, Carlos Boozer. We gonna have to find this picture at some point.
Man, no, we don't, because it happened during his days at one point, he was running up the court in Chicago with a full head of hair. I'm like,
A
what?
full head of hair.
That's why he got traded. It's like, what you doing?
And it was all fun and games until he started sweating. And that man, I mean, like pre-sweat.
He still had a full head of hair. It just went from
Oh
this.
my God, he pulled it up, bruh. He looked like the Pringles man. Y'all don't know the man on the Pringles
Oh
can.
man, it's what the sad thing is. All these pictures just happen to catch the glare. Like
glare.
this is just
Horrible, man.
Spice Adams got to move over. This is the Beijing king. Okay,
Beijing
this right here,
king.
that is your king.
Is this your king?
Look, you know what's crazy? Yes, even though he does start sweating, he still keeps the full head of hair. It just goes from a Caesar to a good old Soul Glow Jerry curl. Feeling oh so silky smooth.
So silky smooth.
Shout out to VH1 for playing that movie almost every other weekend during quarantine. They knew how to keep us in the house.
Yeah, they did.
But you know, I had to stop watching because they kept cutting out too many good scenes.
They cut all the good scenes out.
So I had
well.
so I had to go ahead and watch it on you
Netflix.
know.
I know Netflix had it for a hot second. Then
I don't know where it is now.
And then
I had to go through the Fire Stick and watch it. I'm like,
yeah.
I feel like Eddie was
I
like,
got the real thing.
that's like, put it on Netflix. Oh, y'all ain't pay me? Run me that back.
Run me my check.
Man.
Bunny, how you doing over there? Make sure she good. Nope, she gone. She think she left. Maybe had some issues with her connection. So we'll see if she can get back to us shortly.
I said she might be tucking the Lou in.
No, she said that she lost her internet connection.
Oh, sorry.
So for a minute, it's just the fellas. Well, let's talk about it. Why they always gotta eat our fries? No, I'm just playing.
Hey,
you know when you order food, it ain't
you have some fans watching.
It ain't no me. You flip that M upside down. God damn it, that is me.
And look, and shout out to the ladies that actually eat their food when they order it and not look at your plate like, your food look good too, but you got a whole plate full of food.
Shout out to you.
Yes.
Shout out to you. That's a lie. She be taking fries.
Yeah, I'll throw my own queen on the chopping block here. My wife actually does pretty good in that area. We complement each other very well. She's a all flats person. I'm a drum person. So we get along harmoniously. So
ain't it beautiful?
It's beautiful. So when the wings come out, and it's like the first day of school, you know, when your food come out the restaurant, looking like, hey, that's me. I need that. So as soon as they put the basket of wings on the table, you know, because, you know, I'm a big guy, so we get in the 2 pound, 3 pound.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we divide it up. So she gets her flats, and I get my drums, and we good, harmoniously. We share ranch and all that. Now, here is the problem.
I know where this is going. Because you can't have one without the other. And I know you ain't just eating wings, so let's go.
So here's the problem. The wings aren't the problem. It's all the other exclusive things that are ordered as a result after the appetizer comes out. So my wife has good taste in food. I have good taste in food. I'm ordering something. She orders something. She'll look over. They didn't make that right for you. Excuse me. And immediately, because I'm real laid back. I'm the, hey, I'm cool. It is what it is. No, they didn't make that right. Ma'am.
I feel like that's most men in the restaurant said, and I ain't trying to start no mess. Because look, if I start enough mess, they gonna get the one big dude that's been sitting in the back for 3 years, just been waiting for some to pop up.
Waiting on something.
Like, my turn? Okay, all right.
Here we go.
You gotta stretch? I've been stretching for 3 years. I am ready. I am loose. I'm probably gonna throw my bone out.
That's the main issue there. You know, my wife, she don't play around when it comes to food being right. But other than that, man, we get along great in the food department. I've seen some brothers get their whole meals eaten and her food just sitting over there collecting dust. And I'm like,
and they got the nerve to get it to go plate.
I'm like, bro, stand up for yourself. She just ate your food and took hers out of the go plate.
Right back in the proper way. Hit it where it hurts.
You know.
Shouts out to John. He says, "Amen." Shouts out to them.
Yeah, buddy. Because we definitely in the wing department, we're fine. We get along with pizza too, and I guess that might be a St. Louis thing because we got some of the best pizza in the world.
Come on now.
Shout out to Emos.
They deliver worldwide.
And they we worldwide with it. But my wife likes the middle pieces. I prefer the end pieces. So that works out. So for me, I don't have too many problems in the food department.
I prefer whatever pieces left. Just give it to me.
All of them.
I don't care. It's all gonna taste the same.
No preference.
But I will say those perimeter pieces, there's something about it.
They be cracking, man. I don't know if it's the texture or what. But I'm a texture guy, so that's
ain't it always different?
It's always
just like what did they do? Shout out to that cheese too. That's
Proville cheese, man, should be in the Guinness Book of cheeses, if that's even a category.
I believe it is, probably in Wisconsin.
Hey, shout out to Wisconsin though, with the selection too. I ain't trying to get off into no politics. But hey, we sure appreciate y'all.
Shout out to Wisconsin
and Michigan.
Nevada,
and
California,
almost Arizona, because it looks like we getting
come on, AZ
in from Arizona. So
man, shout out to Scottsdale, man. Shout out to Arizona State too, man. Got a couple kids going out. Well, one is out there right now. Big Joe, one of my defensive ends. He's a former kid of mine that played over at Cardinal Ritter. Great athlete. And then Dominic Lovett, I believe. I might have to fact check that, but he might be heading that way. Wink, wink. But Arizona State, man. Shout out to Herm Edwards, man. I'm all for our brothers getting not only an equal shot, but dominating, man. Look at Mike Tomlin. I mean, come on, like I'm not even a Steelers fan, man, and my man is breaking records. What is it? He's up to 140 wins
all time.
Coach as a black man.
I like it.
So
that's why. I thought Nevada had turned in their numbers. They didn't turn it in yet. That's why.
False alarm?
Yeah, no, because I was like, why is it still at 2? I thought he won Nevada. It's still light blue.
It's light blue.
It's got to be right. It's got to be that full blue, like like that full shading.
And Bunny is back. Also, Ms. Williams says your wife wants to make sure you are fed well.
Amen.
Oh, she does that.
And
Yes,
then
she
Jonathan
does.
says perimeter is where it's hidden.
My
Let's go
man's
Steelers. Oh wow.
and she's a Steelers fan. I'm a Panthers fan. Sadly,
I gotta say our condolences. I know
right.
things changed.
Things change dramatically, folks. Man, I mean,
Real quick.
real quick. I mean, like 0 to 100 quick, and I wasn't ready.
They said McCaffrey was full participation in practice though.
That's good. I'm glad he's back. That high ankle sprain is no joke.
Not at all.
From a former player myself, I've had that injury before, and it is not cute. It is actually it's not really even a sprain. It's a hairline fracture. It's actually a small break, and anything you do, I mean, it ain't. I could bump up against this table, man, and then re-aggravate.
Excruciating.
It is excruciating pain. It is. So, shout out to Panthers, man. You know, Panther Nation, keep pounding. You know, but we hurting right now. You know, Teddy can only do so much. We need an offensive line. That's prevalent.
Teddy still out here getting slept.
Yeah, because our offensive line is yeah. I was gonna say something bad, but
Trash.
Real
I wasn't
quick.
gonna say it.
Real quick to Mrs. Quinn. I was talking to your hubby before the show, and he told me that you went to Gateway Christian. I went there as well until I went to high school. I was there from the time I was in pre-K till 8th grade.
Shout out to
Well,
Gateway
excuse me, until
Christian.
9th grade, and I went to high school at the V. So shouts out to you for going out to Gateway Christian. May have a few people from Gateway Christian who's watching
V
right now.
building.
So shouts out to all y'all GCS. Y'all know what's happening.
Wolverines, baby. Wolverines.
Yeah, here we
lot
go.
of partners, man. A lot of partners, man. Shout out to my boy Jo, my boy Scaife, my boy Rod, man, my boy Brendan Spain, man. Just so many great guys from the V, man. Shout out to Jerry Brown, man. Rest in peace. Just man, Big Herb, rest in peace, man.
Man,
Yeah,
that's still shocking right there.
Brother, I can't even put it into words, man.
Yeah.
How much that that hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so
Good dude.
yeah,
man.
a lot of people, a lot of family from the V, man. Yeah.
So, Bunny, how you doing?
Oh, I'm here, y'all. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. My bad.
Hey,
Oh, no, you fine. You fine. You know, internet be tripping. It's under a lot of stress. You know, we be at home.
What'd you say, Stan?
I said the internet's under a lot of stress. We ain't been doing nothing for the past 8-9 months, but sitting at home, watching stuff over Wi-Fi.
So the bandwidth is getting worked.
Look, all our routers are like, unplug me. I need a vacation.
Right.
30 minutes.
Hey,
Just
also,
reset me.
Real quick, Bunny, you may have to get closer to your computer because we can barely hear you. Just wanted to make sure everybody can hear you very good.
I've been checking this.
All right, is this better?
Been checking
I'm not. You know what? I'm not
the
that close to the
tablet
mic.
here.
Hold on. Man. And no, I don't want to do an update on my computer. Come on now.
You all good. In the meantime, while Bunny gets her situation together, let's go ahead and get right into your story, man. When did you fall in love with sports?
Ooh, man. I fell in love with sports, man. I could pinpoint the two turn back moments. I can remember a 6th or 7th birthday party that I had, and my mom bought me and my brother. You know, y'all remember the old school sheet cakes, right? Mm-hmm. And she's probably watching. She probably ain't like, oh my God, I can't believe you remember that. So my mama bought me this. You know, me and my brother. Matter of fact, we used to throw the best birthday parties because me and my brother's birthday is a month apart. So, you know, mom did what she needed to do. And, you know, we threw the double party. You know, my birthday was in January. His birthday is in February. So we had to do a birthday party. So mom buys this sheet cake that's about the size of a Mazda Miata. And I'm looking at the sheet cake and I'm like, dang, that's a nice cake. So on one side of it, there's a football. Other side of it is a basketball. It says, happy birthday, Brian and Bernard. Love you guys, blah, blah, blah. Great cake. So in that moment, the football just happened to be up under my name. And I'm like, I always liked the sport. Always watching it with my uncles and friends and partners on the block. And everybody remember, you know, playing pole to pole outside, Killer Man and all that.
yes.
You know, shout out to Walden Park in the building. You know, that's hometown.
Chingy.
Right. Shout out to Ching-a-ling, man, if you watch it, man. Hey, no, bruh.
Yeah.
No more zebra printed bibs, okay? I dig the video though. Dug the video. You was spitting, but no more zebra printed bibs.
Let it go.
Let it go. But yeah, man, that's where the love of it started, man. You know, I could just pinpoint the moments, and then my uncle, he put the ball in my hand early, and it was crazy because at that age, everybody wanted to be a ball carrier. I wanted to talk the rock. Let me get my Barry Sanders on. Let me get my Roger Craig on. Franco Harris, all these guys. I'm watching these old school running backs. So my love for football came from the offensive side, and then of course everybody wanted to be Jerry Rice at the time too. But nature caught up with me. I wasn't exactly a little kid. Mm-hmm. So everybody's like, man, hey, with you being as big as you are, you might be on the defensive side of the ball. You might be blocking for somebody. Who knows? You might even play a little bit of tight end or fullback. So a lot of people don't know this story about me, but I actually didn't play my first down of football until I was a freshman in high school. Wow. I was always too big to play JFL. And, back then, JFL was capped weight-wise. And I think the biggest back then, I think it went up to like 13 heavy, and I think you had to be like 165, 170 or something. Like that was like the weight. It was a weight limit. There was a maximum. Mm-hmm. And man, I can remember being a little kid, I'm about 11, 12 years old, going in there to stand on the scale, I remember the old school weigh-ins, and, a million parents out there, it's 1,000,000 degrees. And I go in there to step on the scale, and I'm watching in, I'm walking in for registration, and they're like, hey, whose high school do you play for? And my mom's like, he's only 11, 12 years old. So instead of me, playing up, my mom was like, why don't you just wait a couple years, and, I don't think it's safe, So, I went home, I was crushed, after I had ran around the block with trash bags on and all kind of nonsense trying to lose weight, So when my time came, that's when it came. So, I fell in love with sports young, man. We played everything from court, baseball, basketball, pickup games, 21, bucket, you name it. If it involved a ball, we was doing it, and we stayed outside, so we weren't indoor kids. The only time we really stayed indoors is when it was raining, and that's of course when the Nintendos and the Segas and stuff start popping. So, right out. Shout out. I was the Mortal Kombat king on my block, and NBA Jam too.
There you go. Boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. It's hit the shoes.
So, was there a certain team that you followed a lot as a kid growing up?
Oh, absolutely, man. I was a Bulls and 49ers fanatic. Like my whole room, me and my brother, like our whole room was all Bulls stuff, like Bulls memorabilia. I had a Michael Jordan door poster that was about 7 feet tall, and it was just like Mike making the ugly face. But man, just love the Bulls, love the 49ers as a kid. My love for the Bulls kind of shifted when Mike retired. My heart went with him, and at 98, that was it for me. I was like, dang,
Stan still holding on.
Still holding on.
He's still holding on.
People don't know why. Guess what? I don't either, but I'm in.
My love for the 49ers it was the same scenario, man. Like when Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, when them guys, when they left, and it was, my heart went with them, man. I still stayed around the sport. Actually, I stopped watching basketball for a nice little minute, though. I'm not even gonna lie. It was crushing, man. I couldn't I think if they would have been able to get the contract stuff going, I think 99 they could have won it again.
So that last dance definitely helped you see a whole lot more. Like that's what happened behind the scenes.
That's what happened, man. The last dance, I didn't miss an episode. Yeah. Literally, you was just glued to the TV.
Right.
And plus that was like height of the pandemic. Go ahead, Bunny.
What's the 3 takeaways from the last dance that you got from it?
Ooh, 3 takeaways. Michael Jordan was way more empathetic than people thought. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like we saw a side of Michael Jordan that people didn't see, and I found it dope that he let that side of him out. I didn't really, that my second takeaway, I didn't know things were as bad with Scottie Pippen as it was until all that came out. And my third takeaway is, and we're just going ahead and address the 9,000-pound pink elephant in the room. What people call bad judgment, I call championship mentality. If I know that the whole NBA arena is about to collapse on me as a shooter, and it's 4 people on the perimeter wide open, and I know one of my best shooters is open, I'm going to pass the ball. Everybody's, oh man, no, I would have took that shot, and that's what champions do, and that's called stupidity and greed. Kick the ball out. You know they're gonna collapse on you. He called that spade in was it John Paxson the first time, and then Steve Kerr. So again, you got 2 scenarios where, oh man, see, Michael Jordan wouldn't have them rings if it wasn't for them. Last time I checked, it was a team sport.
Right.
So,
it ain't tennis or golf.
this is right.
And ain't none of them get one without, well, Dennis, but that don't count.
Shout out to
After the fact.
Shout out to the Worm.
Man, that story. He got to have his own a documentary after that one.
Man, I didn't know till the last week that he played overseas at 45 and led one of them crazy leagues over there in rebounds. He had grabbed like 24 rebounds in a game at 45.
Yeah.
So like we talk about way post Last Dance era, like
So what you saying is LeBron playing until he's 78 then?
Oh man, LeBron is a freak of nature when it comes to just the physicality. First of all, the man is 6'9", 260 pounds. It's the size of an NFL tight end. Right. Let's just put that out there. And he could go and probably rip the league. He could play for the Cowboys right now. And shout out to all the Dallas fans out there. I know y'all.
Shit, they probably like, please, LeBron, play for us right now.
Please. Nah, give him a 1-year deal. Give him a 1-year deal.
Do you think LeBron should just go ahead and get out the way? Just go ahead and be in the dunk contest.
I've been saying that since the beginning of his career. You got one of the most prolific dunkers of all time. Why? What is his gripe?
Competition.
You think so?
Yes. 1-on-1 competition. Being in that spotlight competition. I don't think he wants that smoke in the NBA.
You know what? And what you saying that's smooth, that looks like a whole another dynamic to me now. Because I never looked at it from that angle. Because I always wondered, why the hell is LeBron not in the dunk contest? You talk about all the greats, man. Larry Nance, Michael Jordan, Dominique, like all these guys have murdered the dunk contest. Kobe, right, and won. Dwight Howard, all these guys came in the top notch.
Insanity, Vince Carter.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Bun. That was my next one. I'm like, the greatest dunk contest performance of all time, and we're gonna settle this right here on the show. It was Vince Carter.
Ain't nobody gonna argue.
Who's gonna argue with that?
I can't.
You can say all day Mike versus Mike versus Dominique was epic too. I give them that because there was some epic battles. But come on now, Vince Carter, that hands down, that performance will never be matched.
Yes.
Top 3 got to be Vince, Mike and Dominique, and then Aaron and Zach.
Oh yeah, Aaron and Zach went at it, and my man got robbed.
Every time.
Every time
Again.
Well, now in the Levine one, Levine grabbed that one fair and square. Now in this last one,
he got robbed.
Yeah, in this last, he definitely got robbed.
What they say in the boxing world?
Because he jumped over Taco, and then nothing.
He jumped over Taco Charlton, literally. And Taco was like what, 7'6"?
Tall.
Few comments here. Miss Williams says that her son, which is one of my best friends, Edward Williams, went to Gateway Christian as well. Mrs. Quinn, excuse me.
Right.
Then
shout out to Gateway Christian.
Jonathan says Steve Kerr, when you brought up Jordan passing it to Steve Kerr and John Paxson. Then Miss Williams says LeBron does the same thing. He'll draw the defense, then kick the ball out to a shooter who's free.
Which is smart.
He was smart, which is very smart. Danny Green.
Yeah.
He just had off. That just wasn't his game that day. But then you see Game 6, he was like, I'm gonna get y'all.
Right.
And it was the same thing with
it took him a minute though.
Man CP with not Chris Paul, Caldwell Pope.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He went off, the radar for a little minute.
Man, KCP led the league in being wide open and missing shots.
Missing shots.
LeBron.
He did.
He led the team.
Did. He went off into no man's land from the perimeter for a little minute.
Right.
But man, once he started like slashing and using that athleticism and going to the lane, man, once he started going to the cup, that was a whole nother scenario with him. I mean, it was. I like to see the fact that he showed that versatility in his game late.
Yeah.
But man, I honestly think if the Lakers continue to, if they can keep it together, I think if they bring back Rondo, who else am I missing?
AD first.
Yeah, gotta get AD taken care of. If you can bring them two back, honestly, man, I'm gonna go for a wild card here. Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard gave you quality minutes. He gave you quality boards.
He brought an attitude
He
also.
brought moxie to that team late in the playoffs that only a veteran could. And he got in those guys' heads, man. Like psychologically, he what was my man from the Heat? He talked them out his game the whole time. Golly, I can't. I'm losing my mind.
Bam?
Bam Adebayo. Yeah, Bam was the man, but man, Dwight Howard pissed him off.
I mean, but then you have to think about it being Bam. You had to deal with AD, or sometimes LeBron, or JaVale McGee, and then Dwight Howard.
What happened?
That's too much.
What happened with JaVale McGee, man?
Dwight Howard.
True. Yeah, that was a quick one. shout out to Smooth. Point
Smooth. What happened to Dwight Howard joined the dang old team?
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
And it was.
Because he started.
It's true. I mean, you got JaVale was giving you a few trash points here and there.
Yeah.
He was giving you a few trash buckets. But man, when Dwight came in, like he shifted the whole tempo of the game. He wasn't only giving you offensive and defensive rebounds, but he was giving you points off the board. Like he was coming in giving oops, rebounds and straight stuffing them, man. Like just almost turning the rim off. So he looked like vintage Dwight. Even though he still shoots free throws like they're Nerf balls.
More comments from Ms. Williams. LeBron has always been about the team, not himself.
Facts.
Jonathan says these last 2 years been great in regards to the dunk contest.
They have been great.
A lot of dunks I've never seen.
We just missing LeBron.
Right.
Oh yeah, well I'm not saying they haven't been great, but we were talking about the top three. Nah. Because the thing is, back in the dunk contest, these were the guys that had the frame and the strength to throw that mug down. We are here getting point guards and shooting guards,
right,
in the dunk contest now.
So what do you think right now? Is it prime LeBron, or we getting the tapered or the tail end LeBron? Which one of those guys would have dominated that event? What do you think?
I don't think it mattered.
I don't even think
because he's still doing. He's still doing what he was doing.
I'm about to say, I don't even think we've reached taper toward the end. He's still in prime.
I'm like, he's still in his prime. Right. Like, it's scary. Like, this dude is 35 years old, man.
Finna be 36.
And he's gonna be 36 next month, and literally playing at an elite level, and it's scary.
Yep.
Like, this dude might have another 3 to 5 years left in his body.
He said he's playing until Bronny gets in.
With Bronny. Yep. Shout out to Bronny, man.
With or against, but I feel like
did Bronny get that whooping, that legendary whooping?
I'm pretty sure Bron beat the brakes off that ass.
I'm like, oh, you want to smoke, huh?
No, all you want is from the smoke your ass.
Pick a switch. Pick a switch.
She says, on the other hand, when LeBron decides to drive the basket, I've seen the defense scatter because no one wants to get in the way of that freight train.
Hey, playoffs, somebody gonna try to be that person. Last time I saw that happen, it was Jason Terry.
Absolutely.
And what
No. Last time I saw somebody try to step in front of LeBron, it was Yusuf Nurkic.
Yeah, and we all
No. It was this season.
Yeah,
because language, not even in the playoffs, regular season. Bron put his nuts in somebody facing this. Bron put his nuts on I think it was Josh Hart. I think Josh Hart took nuts to the face.
Roll the footage.
Right.
Find the footage.
John, this says only an injury could take Bron out, like the last
when he tore his nuts. Like, that's what happened. They said it was.
Stan is on fire right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it not what they said was a scrotum tear? He tore his nuts. That's what it did. I just didn't say the medical term. I put it in layman's terms.
And I don't think none of us realized how tumultuous that injury really was. And it was like,
I don't want to realize it.
Like, man, like really? Like you jumped that high?
So going back to your childhood, man, who were some of your influences as you was getting to that stage of playing organized sports?
Man, shout out to just my parents, man, my upbringing, my mom, my grandfather, God rest his soul, Reverend Edward Harris, love you, pops. My grandmother, man. I mean, I had an army of people around me. You know, my aunt, just family. You found the footage. You cut me off.
My bad. LeBron posted. That's even worse.
That's even worse. So yeah, back to my childhood. We gonna look at the nut footage.
The nut footage.
LeBron is just embarrassing and posterizing guys, man. You don't want to be.
I mean, y'all can't use no other words.
I'm sorry.
You remember when he killed Damon Jones?
The scrotum footage.
You silly.
Man, put his scrotum on this guy's lining.
Under the line.
Let me get off subject. I love y'all, man. This is hilarious. And I'm perpetuating the scenario too. I'm you know, my ADHD kicks in. My attention span ain't what it used to be. But
Go ahead and take your meds for it now, do you?
you know, I don't know no meds. I just
I felt a smooth. I felt a smooth coming, and I had to stop
look, buddy,
myself.
just a little bit of cheesecake every now and then. That's my only drug, man. Blueberry, all things blueberry and cheesecake.
Yum.
Oh my God, blueberry donuts, blueberry pancakes. Like we ain't like I'm having a fat man moment here.
My cousin said it's a strain.
Look, I hear.
It's a straight called
Blueberry muffin.
So all things blueberry. All things blueberry.
Blueberry muffin.
But yeah, man, I had a great village around me, man. My parents, my
Oh,
grandparents.
Jonathan.
Oh Lord, what
You
happened?
see his comment?
Oh Lord.
You see the comment, buddy?
I gotta go. I can't. I can't. I gotta be up at 4 in the morning anyway.
Right.
Y'all.
John, really?
Hey, that's better than what I was gonna say.
Braun was balling on him.
That's literally what I was gonna say. Literally. You said scrotum on his line, and I'm saying he was using his special clippers. Okay.
Not the magic clip.
The magic.
We're not gonna do this right now.
He's using the magic clipper that day.
The
That's what he was doing.
Magic clippers. So yeah, man. A lot of village around me, man. Great coaches. A lot of great coaches, man. Shout out to Coach Brian Simmons, Coach Steve Smith, Coach Don Greco. A lot of guys around me, man, who just kept me on the straight and narrow. You know, I want to be one of them guys. I want to be the offensive guy.
Yeah.
I want to run the rock. I want to run routes and all that. And
Because it looked fun.
it was just great, man. And those were the guys who got all the notoriety. And Coach Simmons sat me down one day at practice, and he was like, "Hey, man, you know, you got to realize something. You got a whole nother skill set, and I'm gonna need for you to put your hand and try putting your hand down in this grass for me real quick." And, you know, it was the game. It was the mouthpiece. He was like, "Hey, go ahead and put your hand down in the dirt real quick and get off the ball real fast for me." And it just went from there, man. So yeah, that transition from, you know, me playing high school ball and as a freshman, first time I was stepping on the field, you know, played all through my high school ranks. Man, I think between you know, everybody has that crazy growth spurt. I think between my sophomore year and my junior year, man, I put on like almost 30 pounds of muscle. It was creepy. Like it was like I was like going hard, man, like running track, football. And after that, man, I ended up, you know, being, you know, getting, like I say, all state 2 years back to back, junior and senior year out of Pattonville, and led the school to, you know, we you know, as a junior, we led the school to the first state championship. Like I said, shout out to my fellow Pirates and all those guys out in P-ville land.
Which is, you know, for those who not sure, because, you know, some people may have watched P-Valley and thinking.
Not P-Valley.
You know, but he's referring to Pattonville High School. For those who are not in the St. Louis area. There it is.
Right. So let's get that out there.
Because this show is, you know,
Disclaimer.
broadcast around the nation. So,
This Mercedes, come back home.
Disclaimer.
So what led you to go to Pattonville?
Honestly, man, Mom's just had a plan, man. She had a great plan. Like I said, man, I'm a product of Walnut Park, man, and I grew up seeing a lot, being around a lot of things, and you know, everybody that that's from St. Louis or not familiar with Walnut Park, I'll just say this: we about that life. And and unfortunately, like I said, man, I saw a lot growing up. You know, I was supposed to be a product of SLPS. I actually was supposed to go to Beaumont. A lot of people don't know that about me. Address wise, in the zoning, I was supposed to go to Beaumont, and my mom was just like, "Yeah, about that. You're not going to school with your friends." So just imagine hearing that conversation at the age of probably about 7 or 8, and I'm like, "Well, why can't I go to my? I want to go to school with my friends, you know." So she was just like, "Hey, trust me." That was the end of the conversation. And I actually was a product of Pattonville School District from the age of, I believe, 6 or 7, all the way up through high school. So I literally woke up, got bussed from Walnut Park to Maryland Heights for about 17 years straight. And it paid off, you know. It's a major way, excuse me. I got a lot of exposure, you know, just to different cultures, man, different diversity, working with different people, man. And it prepared me for life. It really did. And you don't see that young or when you're going through it. But when you hit adulthood, it's like, man, like that made all the difference in my upbringing. But it still kept me grounded because, again, I still had to come home, you know. And, you know, unfortunately, like you said, you see a lot. You lose friends and partners to the streets and all that. And, you know, for me, it was just like you dabble in that lifestyle a little bit. You know, you see, you know, the gang culture, or you see the drug culture, and you think that stuff is cool to a certain extent. But once you start, you know, once bodies start dropping and you start losing friends and partners to the streets, man, it's like, this stuff ain't for me, bro. Like, football, like when I tell you, like, I'm a living, breathing testimony, like, football saved my life, like it did, you know. Like I said, I try to, you know, I had knucklehead moments like everybody else, you know, try to, you know, be a gang member, try to be a corner boy, all the stupidity. And it's just like, bro, like, you have a skill set that could possibly take care of your family for the rest of your life. Like, what are you doing? And same neighborhood, my parents were actually friends with the Atwaters. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with that name, but Lutheran North legend, Steve Atwater, grew up literally a block, you know, from my grandmother. So all my family members, they all, you know, they went to school, you know.
He just got to the Hall of Fame, what, like 2 years ago?
He literally just got into the Hall of Fame, straight from Walnut Park. Went to Lutheran North, and again, product of St. Louis. And just like I said, he was one of my motivating factors growing up, because, you know, I figured, you know, if he can make it out of here, I can too. And it just football opened up a world of just great things for me, man. From high school to the college level, going up, you know, playing ball down at SEMO. Had a great college career, a lot of great friends and brothers from all walks of life, all over the world. Like right here in Cape Girardeau, down 55. Shout out to Red Hawk Nation if y'all listening. But like I said, you know, just had a great solid college career. Took a little time off, about a year and a half after college. I was actually going directly, you know, into, you know, doing the pro level thing, doing my pro days, all that. Became a dad. You know, my daughter was born, and, you know, I had to jump into daddy mode for a minute. And it's like, you know, let me ground myself for a minute, and all that did was make me go harder, you know. So when my daughter was born, like I said, I jumped back in it, and then my son was born right after that. So it was like, man, you know, I got 2 double whammy back to back, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, all right, I got to get serious about this, and that led to me having my first opportunity. I went to an open draft tryout. Our Midwest, region was all connected to Chicago. So from about 2009 to about 2012, man, like I was going to Chicago literally 2-3 times a week doing showcases and like grinding, man, like hitting the highway, hitting the chitlin circuit as we call it. And I'm going up there and I'm balling for these scouts, you know, like I'm working out for Green Bay, Washington, Baltimore, Atlanta, you know, like all these, like pretty much every NFL team, and, you know, turning heads, you know. So finally I got a free agent shot with Atlanta. And actually I remember doing my combine. I worked out for Atlanta and Green Bay. Green Bay watched me do my bench press. Atlanta watched me do my 40 and my short shuttle. And simultaneously, both scouts, you know, they're passing out cards and, even the scout from Baltimore, from the Ravens, the guy ran me down in the bathroom. I was like, hey, man, I'm trying to use the bathroom. He's like, man, you balled out, man. Hey, we want to bring you into camp. And I'm like, shit, excuse my language. Like, my mouth dropped, because I'm a kid from north side of St. Louis. And here I am, almost 3 years removed from football, but had enough moxie and enough wherewithal, man, to use my children as a motivating factor to grind and get to that next level. So everybody asks me all the time, man, what happened with the NFL? I'm like, hey, nothing happened. I mean, it's a business. I'm like, I was one of those guys that the skill set wasn't the problem. Getting there wasn't the problem. God had a different plan for my life, and I look back on it now from different lenses, because back then, man, I wasn't trying to hear it. I was trying to get on the NFL roster. Yeah. I'm trying to make that money. And I can remember a turning point, and God was dealing with me then, which is like, kind of humble yourself a little bit. I got a call, and I don't know if Coach is watching, but shout out to Coach Pat Pimmel, man. Coach Pat offered me my first professional contract. It was with the River City Rage.
In which, for those who are not familiar, that is
the first. No, it's not the first. I'm at to fact check it, but I know it might be the second. It was our second Arena League team, professional indoor football team that we had here in St. Louis, played right out there at the Family Arena. So shout out to Coach Pat Pimmel, who gave me my first start. It was probably around about maybe 2009, 2010. Offered me my first pro contract, $500 a game. I'll never forget it. I'm like, this is when it gets real. Like, they're paying me to play football, and I turned it down. And everybody's like, well, why did you turn it down? Well, now that we're on the show, you can get the backstory now. Statute of limitation is up, so I can spill the beans. The reason why I turned that down is I was actually waiting on 2 phone calls simultaneously. Actually, 3 phone calls simultaneously. I was waiting to get into camp with the Baltimore Ravens, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Green Bay Packers all at the same time. So, like, for me, I didn't want to, in hindsight, it was like, everybody's like, yeah, man, you had a guaranteed contract to play your first, professional year of football back, 2010, 2009. But for me, in my mind, I'm going to the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, this other stuff will be here. Yeah, it's still pro football. But, man, I'm trying to get to that top spot. That's what I'm on. And slowly but surely, the business side set in. And that's the side of it that they don't glorify to a lot of our kids coming out of college, is at some point, the ball is going to go flat. The lights are going to go out. And you're, and I hate to sound like the commercial, but you're going to go pro at something other than the prospective sport that you're doing. And for me, I learned early, from my mom, as hard as she worked, I watched my mom literally, man, 2 full-time jobs, and she put herself through school, master's degree and all, like literally grind mode, and raised 2 boys. So I learned that work ethic from her and my grandfather. And, my grandfather was an entrepreneur, owned, stores and clothing, just everything, man. He was just offering all kind of stuff, man. And just, from a legal standpoint.
So he says, yeah.
So I say, but yeah, being Pops was a hustler, he was. And I learned that from him. But I had to pick up skills early, man, that would save my life. And my mom was just, I could hear her, hear her now, even if she's watching, Mom, shout out to you, love you.
Hey, moms.
She would always tell me, and I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off by saying this, but it's the truth, man. And it needs to be said with our generation, with our kids. I even tell my own kids this now. Get out of them what they're going to get out of you, flat out. There's nothing wrong with going to the Division I level. There's nothing wrong with being a standout athlete. Like use your skills to get out, and ball. Do what you got to do. But don't get pimped. You see what I'm saying? Don't sign on a dotted line and then just get used. And you come home and you ain't got nothing to show for it but a brown paper bag and a bus ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your degree, right. And I was fortunate enough to not get 1 but 2, degrees from my scholarship. So, I mean, everybody's like, man, they gave y'all that. No, man, we work our butts off, man, to get where we want to be. I almost said something else, but I'm gonna keep it rated G. I'm passionate about that.
Right.
But you're not promised that level. So the skill set was always there. Again, I know for a fact, I could have played in the NFL royally. Like that was not the issue. It's just that when you're dealing with the business side of the game, they don't prepare you for the no. You see what I'm saying? And it's just not promised to everybody. I was one of them guys that literally I was just overlooked. That was it. All I needed was a phone call. And to get that phone call where you're on the other side of, hey, yeah, we were going to bring you in, but, we went another direction. Mm-hmm. That's their favorite phrase. We decided to go in a different direction. So hearing that over and over again, and then I had just signed my NFLPA agreement with my agent and like all that. Like, so I'm like thinking like this is getting ready to really, really pop off. And shout out to Dave, man, my former agent, David Glenn, who I actually was introduced to by Coach John Parker. John Parker ended up being my first Arena League coach other than Pat Pimmel. Okay. And these are guys who really gave me my first shot. So I ended up getting a tryout with at the time it was the Tulsa Talons, which was in the AFL. They bought the team from Tulsa in Oklahoma and they moved them to San Antonio. So in 2012, I ended up getting, shot down there and, went and worked out and everything was going fine. And I'm thinking, I'm getting ready to ball. Mm-hmm. And same scenario, Farm Club. We're gonna pile up our roster with guys and free agents, and when somebody goes down, we'll activate you then. Well, in the meantime, I can't just sit in San Antonio, Texas, and I got a family back home. I got kids, man, and I got a job. So at this point, I'm actually working. And with me getting my degree, I was able to go into a lot of pseudo education-based fields before I actually became a teacher. So I worked down at the Juvenile Center in St. Louis City. Shout out to all my family there. My Jennings family, like I was ISS supervisor. I had all my background was working with children. So that's really what I'm passionate about is working with kids. And then getting my first coaching, shot. I actually started coaching high school football the same time I was an NFL free agent. Wow. And a lot of people didn't know that. Like in 2007, I started my coaching career at Cardinal Ritter and stayed at Cardinal Ritter from 2007 all the way up until 2018.
It was that was the year in which the issue happened.
The incident. Yeah. I actually divinely I actually was dismissed from my position there prior to that happening. And that was, I always look at that as, hey, God working some mysterious ways. But shout out to them guys, man. Again, a lot of homeboys, a lot of partners on that squad, man. And it just is what it is, man. People make mistakes. Ain't none of us perfect, bro. None of us perfect. All of us make mistakes.
You brought up earlier Brendan Spain. We had him on the show a few months ago.
Yeah, that's my guy.
And his mindset was pretty much, he wasn't there for what happened.
Right.
His thing is, this is a whole new regime.
It's a whole new regime.
You're going to leave what happened.
New blood. That's right.
That's right. What I got for y'all is something different. Yeah. Get y'all focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, they got a good guy, man. They like we always say in the hood, they got him one. They got him a good guy, man. And shout out to my boy, man. Brendan, Spain was my college, one of my college roommates.
I've known him. He's actually pretty much family. I've known him since we were like little kids.
Literally family.
So shout out to the Spains. And real quick,
Spain gang in the building if y'all watching.
Right, quick plug. This is the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth, along with
Stan, baby.
And via Zoom we have
Bunny.
Hello, Bunny.
And special guest
King B, everybody. King B. I'm joking. Hey man, I'm just Bernard Quinn from the north side of St. Louis, man. I'm one of the guys who listen. When the OG spoke, I listened.
You was saying about certain people who may be watching the show. You may know Malachi Davis.
Yeah.
He's like, he says, "What's up, coach?"
Tell Malachi, hey man, straight baller. That's all I'm gonna say. Straight baller.
That's what's up.
That's my guy, man. And he can sing too.
Yeah. and Malachi.
And he can sing too.
I'm not sure if you recall who I am, but I've DJ'd your parents' events in the past. so you may know who I am now. And
Also, the DJ, that was me.
Yeah. I'm that dude.
That boy good.
Yeah.
That was me. This one right here, that was me.
Yeah, it is. He be like, oh yeah, now I recall. But yeah. Then and he says love, bro.
Man, all love, man. That's my guy, man. Shout out to Ritter Nation, man. Hey, like I said, forever in my heart, man. I'm always gonna be grateful, man, for the maroon and white. They gave me my start.
Ritter critter.
Critters. All my Ritter critters out there, man. Mr. Henderson, God rest his soul.
I know, Mr. Henderson.
Everybody, man.
Miss
Mr.
Hall.
Blacksher, Miss Hall.
Were you still there? Was Miss Hall still principal when you were coaching there?
You know what? Miss Hall had just retired my first year there. She had just retired, but still rooted in the community, man. Miss Hall wasn't going nowhere. Like she would come in and she would shut it down. She ain't play no games, but that
she
would.
Just
a heart of
I'm
gold,
not a Ritter
though.
critter, but I call myself a small portion of it because my brother and sister graduated from there.
Oh yeah, great.
I can't claim it though.
One of the best institutions for education and athletics in the nation, man. I would put
when it was at Walnut Park.
even when it was right on Thekla. Shout out to all the original Ritter critters who went to Walnut Park on Thekla, because I used to hone my skills over there in that little dusty field back there behind their school. And
that they would call a football, baseball, all that in one.
That's where I used to get it in. I was a little, like I said, I was as my Florida homies say, in my legit days, I would go back there and hop the fence and scar my knees up, rip my good clothes, and then go home and got a duck smoke from my mama because you done went out and played in your doggone school clothes.
Why did you whip
that? You ain't no better. Your mama ain't.
And now for the whipping.
Why did you whip mama no?
So yeah,
had a flashback there, but anyway.
Big boy flashback, memory lane. That's what I'm talking about, buddy.
So let's see. Malachi says he recalls me. That's what's up. Then Jonathan, which actually they're cousins, he says, "What's up, Malachi?" And now,
man, you got family affairs on. That's what I'm talking about.
That's how we do it on the platform.
Bringing everybody together.
It's the platform Sports Talk Family Reunion. Bringing families together.
Bring your families together.
Since 2017.
Malachi, Jonathan, everyone who's watching this stream right now, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, share. Hit the like button on all the different sources. Show us love.
That's right.
And click on that goddamn bell. Because anytime we go, tell y'all, man.
Because anytime we go live,
hit the bell.
You will be notified.
Don't make me get that real life size of this helmet and do a running headbutt at you.
Stan, I got you.
I'm gonna mess you up.
The real size.
Good. Like I'm talking
real life. The real life size one is coming.
Somebody catching the concussion is happening.
Somebody catching the face.
Really? A lot of aggression there, Stan. A whole lot of aggression there.
Somebody catching a fade tonight.
I'm fade. You gonna get these hands, these holiday hands.
Like catching
the holiday hands.
I almost said holiday hard hands, but no.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Flag.
Oh, did
you heard me?
Where's my whistle?
I need a flag on the play. On the play.
Malachi said he's gonna catch that Aaron Donald.
Oh my God! Hey, 9 is a whole nother beast.
He's a beast.
He's a savage. And
that was crazy. He ain't slowing down.
He's not slowing down, man. And then think about this from a football aspect. He's been doing that since he was at Pitt.
Right.
And a lot of people they're looking at it like, oh man, Aaron Donald's probably one of the greatest defenders of all time. I'm like, dude, he was doing that in college. He was just undersized. You know what I'm saying?
And that was the issue.
That was it.
He had 12, 11 teams who passed him up.
Literally. I mean, I know the GMs that passed up on him, man, are kicking them. They kicking their own self in the back.
On the line.
Yeah, everybody on the line.
Shout to you, man.
Yeah, 9 is a beast, man.
Yeah.
AD is a whole nother. Look,
I'm glad I got to see him for that. 1 or 2 years he was in St. Louis.
Two. Yeah, we had him for 2 seasons.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to see him in person at least one time.
Yeah, he was a beast, man. And he's actually, it's creepy what's going on in LA right now in a good way. And when I mean creepy in a good way, divinely, you got 2 championships that just transpired in the city of LA. Mm-hmm. LeBron then brought the ring home for the Lake Show.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The Dodgers came.
The Dodgers
just knocked out a World Series.
Took him a minute.
And it took him a minute. It was 88.
No, I'm just talking about the fact that they've been in every single last one for like the past 4 years.
It's true.
It's like finally.
They're like 0 for 4.
It took Corona to get it.
It took Corona.
Not the Buffalo Bills, but go ahead.
Not the Buddy, you wrong for that. You wrong.
Look, hey.
Wait a minute.
Buddy, I'm with you, Bunny. I'm with you. It's facts.
That don't mean you gotta say it.
Don BB? Like we talking about Don BB here?
Thurman Thomas.
Yes.
Jim Kelly.
Come on now. Jim Kelly?
All them.
Like, hey.
Okay.
I wasn't even
Just because it happened on me.
I wasn't even a Buffalo fan.
The row of L's.
But just the fact that
Shannon Sharp.
didn't they make it to the Super Bowl like 3 years? Was it 3 or 4 years straight?
They 0 for 4.
Oh my God.
Every time. They the Dodgers of the NFL.
I don't know how you can just
Not the
continue
Dodgers
to
of the
make
league.
it and just.
Yeah, that was painful
That's
to
all
watch.
bad.
It was painful to watch. Even the ones when the back-to-back ones, man, to go 4 years straight and get to the doorstep and get denied every year, man. That does something to the mind, man. You start doubting yourself after a while. I've lost a ring with 39 seconds left on the clock before, and I cried like a newborn baby.
Speaking of which, going back to high school real quick in Pattonville, you played football all 4 years?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
What was the pinnacle that y'all reached?
The pinnacle was at the time, man, was our first state championship my junior year.
Nice.
That was the first state championship ever in Pattonville school history.
Look at you.
Ever, man. So like trailblazing, man. Like we talking about pictures up on the wall. We talking about in the school hall of fame. I think we still got records, man. That I firmly believe we still got records that still are in our school. I know one that stands out for sure that year. I know we set a state record for the most points scored in a high school football game in like Missouri history. And it was Pattonville versus Columbia Hickman. I'll never forget that game. It had like Friday Night Lights like implication to it. Like Columbia traveled all the way to St. Louis. I mean, I want to say they probably shut their whole city down just to come to the crib. And I think we ended up losing that game 63.
Jesus.
It was like 63 to like 59.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was one of the craziest offensive shootouts. I mean, like you got sports columns that wrote about that game, and it's like in the Missouri. Like we can fact check it. It's like literally in the Missouri sports like high school athletic association Hall of Fame for like the most points scored in a high school football game, and we played in that game. There was absolutely everybody's like it wasn't no defense in the game. We made stops, we did
Every now and then.
but it was every now and then.
Right.
But you talk about physical. That probably was one of the most physical football games I've played in my life, man. Like I literally felt like the next day after we played that game, like it felt like I got jumped because I was blowing up trap blocks the whole doggone game, man. So it was crazy. So yeah, man. Shout out to Columbia Hickman and legendary Green and White, man. The Pirates of Pattonville High School. We put up some numbers that year. I think we led the league and led the state in sacks too for defensively, man. We had some killers on that team, man. But you talk about that true suburban North, that real deal suburban North football back then. Like everybody had killers, you know. I mean, it was your Pattonvilles, your Hazelwood East, your Centrals, and McClure Norths, and I mean everybody had guys that could go. Even the Normandies, and I don't want to bash Normandy from my Normandy.
No, go ahead, do it.
Shout out to the Vikings out there, Viking Nation out there.
Bash those Christmas crazies. Bash them.
Hey man, hey.
Bash them Christmas crazies. Go ahead.
The Gucci colors.
Nah, they Christmas crazies. You know Normandy can't afford Gucci.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I'm from U City. I'm gonna give it to them back.
You get there?
U City. I'm gonna give it to them back.
I hate Viking Nation. I'm gonna give them a pass on that one, but yeah, I mean everybody in that.
They know they can't see us. I'm sorry. It's
I don't know, man. I think back then. Well, I think back then in that era.
Well, in my day, they couldn't see us on the court, on the field, or with them hands. So,
he went there, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, how you gonna get mad, fight, and lose? And there's ice outside. Hey. We caught you slipping.
Hey, shout out to the Normandy Christmas tournaments.
Yes.
Hey, though.
Some of the best basketball.
I always talk about that.
Some of the best basketball.
Some of the best
in the area.
Hey,
Okay.
some of the best concession stand food you ever had.
Man, some of the best patrons at the game.
Best patrons, man.
Not the best basketball coming from Normandy.
No. They had some hoopers, I'll give them that. But man, the Christmas tournaments used to be lit, man. It was standing room only.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so back in that suburban North era, man, like I came from a great era of football. Like my high school reign of terror was from '98 to 2002. So freshman to senior year, like I saw the pinnacle of what the suburban North really was, man. We talking about guys like Dave Richard, Damian Nash, like, you know, God rest his soul, like some of the greatest, like Owens Maloney, like literally, like,
I was just about to bring up, man.
like these are my guys, these are guys that literally we would just get in all kind of stuff after games. We would beat each other up on the football field, but we go kick it after the games. Like
that's how it is.
That's what we would do. You know,
we cool after the whistle.
Like, we would link up and go to parties, and we would go to Saints on Sundays and the Palace and all that. Like these were my guys, you know.
Oh, you brought up the Palace and Saints.
Oh man, I'm going there.
But
that was intricate with sports back then, because you got to think on Friday night lights, on all them Saturday afternoon games, because Hazelwood didn't have no lights.
Yeah, you see, they ain't have neither. We had Thursday afternoons.
Had to wake up at the butt crack of dawn just to play the Hazelwood schools, because y'all ain't had no lights, man. Get it together. But I remember when Riverview first got lights. I ain't gonna lie.
I know that, I can tell.
Riverview didn't always have lights. I remember when they got them. Man. It was crazy because they didn't want them over there.
UCD still ain't got them lights.
Yeah, y'all ain't gonna get them no time soon.
I think it's because of the way our field is set up. Ain't nothing behind that section but swamp.
Hey, yeah, it's bad over there on that one side. But the way y'all stands are set up.
Oh yeah, Coliseum. It's beautiful.
The Coliseum is gorgeous. But if they
homecoming back in the day,
if they resurface that, y'all look, resurface that and get y'all some turf. Oh man, y'all have one of the best stadiums in St. Louis. Other than Pattonville. Because we, hands down, I don't care what nobody say. And if y'all out there watching, I will put Pattonville's stadium, our new stadium, up against any facility in St. Louis. We're not talking about the Flyers though, because that over there,
that's something different.
That's a whole different beast.
That's a whole different beast over there across that river,
man.
And trust me,
that's a college stadium.
That's a college stadium. That new turf just got laid down. Oh, did y'all see the track? The orange track with the blue exchange zones. Yeah. Oh. Google it when you get a chance. It's gorgeous.
What in the Boise?
It's gorgeous.
Corner Ritter's new.
Oh yeah, Corner Ritter showed up and showed out too. They finally got turf. I like to take the time to toot my own horn a little bit on that, because you know I'm a visionary, and I was one of the people who kind of cast that vision back in 2007, 2008. You know, I toot my own horn, but you know, you want to introduce people to the next level. Man, Corner Ritter should have been had turf.
2 words.
2 words.
After turf. Oh, that's one? My bad.
Right. We should have been had turf over there. But, man, you know, everything happens in the...
You city get turf. Give me some cleats. I'm out there. Give me some cleats.
Hey, you know what? The first thing y'all need to do if y'all get turf over there, y'all need to put you, see, me in the middle of y'all field. Or in the end zones. Man. Now, that'll be dope. And I'm not even from.
We say it. We just don't. It's not. It needs to be. You know, they only decorate the field for homecoming. Yeah. Which you know, even then it was. I'ma say it. It was trash. Like, you gonna make us wait one day out the whole damn year to put some little funk ass paw prints. Some little funky paw prints.
Mad about it too, Stan. You just can't get over that, huh?
Some funky paw prints, money.
He will not let this go, ladies.
Didn't even look like lion prints. Looked like some little cat prints.
He is royally pissed off about this.
Some little paw prints.
My man walked in like King John. My son works. Pissed about these paw prints.
I saw him laying down. I'm like,
who gonna clean up all these flowers?
My junior year, I'm just in there. Look at this shit. Doing it again.
Somebody said Prince Akeem.
If you're really a prince, I'll marry you. So yeah, man, a lot of. I come from a rich football background, man. A lot of killers back then. I'm talking about in a good way, man. I've seen some phenomenal athletics, dog. We had games in high school that, you know, everybody brag about Texas and Florida and Cali and Pennsylvania and Ohio, Jersey, you know, all these pipelines when it comes to, you know, like high school premier sports. what they don't realize is them same coaches that's recruiting them major pipelines,
Come here.
they come right to the crib because they want that St. Louis speed. And it's something special about St. Louis athletes, man, because a lot of us play with that gritty attitude, but we we build our game, and I might be giving away our secret sauce here, so forgive me, y'all.
Don't do it.
I'm giving away our secret sauce. Our games are built around track and field. So a lot of people looking at me like, what do you mean?
There it is. You just gave
Most football players
Makes
in
sense.
St. Louis, we run track.
Run track in the spring.
There
I
you
say
go.
strength and conditioning.
And
Yep.
and if it wasn't spring, it was summer track. Now I didn't have the luxury of running summer track. I would have, done that if I was educated. But I actually didn't start running track until my sophomore year. I skipped my freshman year because I was trying to be cool and I'm just gonna go lift weights. But what ended up happening was my freshman year to my sophomore year, I put on good weight, but I was slow. You see what I'm saying? So I was just knocking people's heads off, but I'm out of shape. So I'm like, all right, so sophomore year, I got to try something different. My boy like, man, come out here and run track. I'm like, bruh, I'm not a sprinter. I'm not going to run nobody down.
Man.
But the crazy part about it was my coaches, being the brainiacs that they were, do the conditioning with the sprinters and throw the shot put in the discus. So every day, I'm working out with the sprinters. So that's helping me with my conditioning. That's helping me with my 40 time and starts, stances, all that. Like getting out of the blocks. Dude, from my sophomore year to my junior year, I put on about 30 pounds of muscle, man. But I mean, you talk about like baby fat gone. Like I was like rocked up. Like I almost had a six pack, almost.
You like transformed.
I literally
transformed.
transformed, and I thank
Really?
my coaches, man, for literally putting me on game. It was free game. It was like, dude, with your size and athletic ability, we need you running track. And track and football became like it was like husband and wife in my sports world. You know what I'm saying? And the two are married. And that's our secret here. It really is. Because you get a lot of coaches that recruit St. Louis and they come here and they like, man, we want that St. Louis speed. We need that speed. From the defenders to you look at from the offensive players to the elite defenders, all of us share the same background. It's track and field. Look at the stats from the national championships played in college football. All those guys who either scored or had a major impact on those games from a 5-star or 4-star recruit perspective, all them guys ran track. So we urge our kids, if y'all not, it ain't even a choice now. You're going to do something in the offseason. 9 times out of 10 is going to be you running track.
I was just about to say, it's been a common theme with our shows, but I know you can agree, co-sign with me. But a lot of our previous guests been saying doing more than one sport.
Absolutely.
It's crucial nowadays.
And that's what's going to get you noticed. That's what's going to get you recruited. I try to tell not only, my athletes and younger athletes and guys that, I've had the pleasure of coaching that are now at the Division I level and moving on. Those guys put that work in from a multiple sport aspect. So they weren't just sitting on their butts there was no off season. Once football was over, they either transitioned into basketball or they transitioned into track. And if they didn't run track, they played baseball. It was something. We even had guys that were 3 and 4 sport athletes. I was actually a 3-sport athlete. I wish I would have pursued baseball. That is my biggest regret, if I could say, from a sports aspect, because I couldn't naturally hit a baseball. And it was creepy because, again, it was just a skill set that I had just based off of sheer athleticism. And I look back on it now, and I look at these contracts that these guys getting.
Right.
We talk about Big Papi and Harper and all these other guys, man. I'm like, just for hitting a baseball. Like I thump myself in the own head for not,
You feel me? Because it's like,
literally, man. You finna pay a guy $300 million to hit a baseball.
And I was right there, man, because I was killing it in the Jewish League. And I promise you.
Oh, there you go.
Just say the
Oh my
Jewish
God,
League?
Sid.
Yes, the Jewish League. All right. I grew up in U City. The U City League wasn't. Look, my mama put me over there in Creve Coeur. I'm like, well, I call it Jewish League because it was at the Jewish Community Center. So you know, I just the wall. Look, before they tore it down to put that old megaplex over there.
Yeah.
I don't recognize none of that. I remember pulling up. Well, none of that over there, but a square rectangular looking building.
He went there, didn't he?
With no windows, barely.
He went
just gym.
He went there.
Back in the day, that's what's that built character. Okay, that's what's wrong with these athletes. They ain't got
That's
character.
Well, they got social media and they got their followers, and you know they gotta. These kids are dealing with a whole nother level of attention now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we didn't have that. You know, I told my kids one time I was always making jokes, you know, at practice with my boys and all that. And I'm like, hell, man, I just wish we had huddle. I'm like, I don't know nothing about taking double 2 or 3 VCRs stacked on top of each other. And we try to dub this and do this and make. I can vividly remember like sitting in the office making highlight tapes with my coaches and mailing out my tapes, like old VHS
Cassettes.
like cassettes, like the big boys. So if anybody from the Pattonville era of around about 98 to about 2002, if y'all still have some of those legendary films, I know somebody got some archives somewhere.
And the VCR, because we're gonna need that too.
We're gonna need a VCR. We are. If y'all got those legendary films, man, and y'all can get them digitally remastered, or it's some tech gurus out here.
They got the little they got the cassette to DVD conversion systems. They sell those.
He needs the actual raw footage of it though. When you convert it, you need it.
Yeah.
Oh well, you know, once you get the tape,
we need the tapes. We need the actual footage, and then we can convert them to digital audio, and we can stream them and put them online. And do
make sure it's rewound properly. Get your butter knife.
Rewind.
Not the butter knife.
What y'all use? I use the butter knife. I was in there.
That fine.
Be kind rewind. Be kind rewind.
Man, look.
These kids don't know nothing about that, do they?
I do.
Be kind rewind.
Struggle, baby.
That was a
I
struggle.
think my generation is the last one, because after that, Blockbuster and all them just
I remember
died.
Blockbuster died. Like I remember.
It hurt. Because I was like, are you serious?
Because they had some of the best snacks, and then it was like for the low too.
There you go.
You know, they had, you know, but y'all remember, you know, come on, man. I'm a big guy. You know what I'm saying? Snacks is always on deck in my
What's
house.
crazy is the Hollywood video is closer to me.
It's a house with athletes. We got we should be sponsored by Quaker Oat. Between oatmeal and granola balls, bro. You know,
Oh my God.
Hey, my wife's still over here. Am I lying? No, I'm not. We got a house full of athletes,
That's
man.
like y'all the walking food pantry.
Bro, we have to be, especially during track. Y'all know how track season be, man. Everybody got the coolers. Everybody got it's an all day event. So we it's literally tailgating.
It's lit, right? And depending
All day,
on
all
the events in the
evening.
middle of the field.
Oh yeah, and then you pray that the weather is great.
It's not raining.
Because them first few meets of the year is always disrespectful.
Brutal. You just out there bundled. Be like,
If it ain't lightning, you're still running in the rain.
Still running in the rain. Yeah, buddy.
but the coach is wet outside. Boy, you better
get on the line.
Everybody.
Right.
spray your cleats.
Rain.
But like a coach is, you gonna get involved? You gonna get involved? Like really?
So
You gonna participate?
Really, Debo?
So speaking of coaching, who were some of the coaches that you was not mimicking but following to get you to hone into your skill when you got in that position?
My skill set, honestly, man, comes from love and intensity. And the guys that I grew up admiring, they were naturally father figures on the football field. You know what I'm saying? They got in our, excuse my language, they got in our asses. They did, you can say the regular words. You just can't say the ones where if it's on TV, they got to change it from PG to TV 14. Them the ones you just can't say. Fuck mother scooter.
Like, yeah, them. Like the F's, the S's.
What was what was that channel? What was that? BT?
BT Uncut.
BT might be the worst subtitle for curse word platform ever. I'm like, y'all, you know they didn't fit in there, right?
Man, I'm trying to look. The voice
That'd be a whole nother person's voice.
Man, we're trying to stick to the mother loving plan, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, who did the voiceovers? Like really, dog, who did y'all voiceovers? But nah, smooth. But not to answer your question. Just I had a great band of father figures away from home. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, shout out to Coach Brian Simmons if you're watching. Love you, big homie. I really do, man. This guy was one of the ones who helped me to realize, like, from a coach's standpoint and a father standpoint, like, at some point you're gonna be both. So I'm showing you early. Not only are you gonna be a great athlete, but you're gonna be a great father too. And shout out to Coach Steve Smith, man, who's another great guy who's actually still the current head coach of Pattonville High School right now. Shout out to the Pirates yet again. Coach Smith, man, he was another instrumental guy who just stayed on my can. Or as the kids would say, he was on my turkey. Like, he stayed on me, man.
What kid? On your turkey?
That's what kids say now.
That's what they say now. You know,
when do they get away from on your head? Turkey?
They keep me young.
You
man.
like it, I love it, y'all.
They keep me young, man. I was
on my turkey, man.
Like, what?
Right, that sounds crazy, doesn't it?
So yeah, he stayed on me, man, and he was one of those guys where every day at practice was jewels of knowledge being dropped at those huddles at the end of practice. You know, when you're tired, you ready to throw up. They done ran y'all 9,000 gassers and sprints and heels, but all those moments were those life preparing moments. You know, and he spoke something into my life that resonated with me at the age of 15. And I remember it as a father, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, he would always tell us, again, the consequences are always going to last longer than a party. So when I was out here doing my knucklehead stuff and, running around St. Louis like a wild man and being ratchet and doing all this other stuff I was on back then.
Oh, ratchet.
Right. So I
we hit up with that. I'm sorry.
Right.
So I try to tell people, if you knew me.
Oh, I'm about to.
You're right. We can take the same thing.
All right, buddy. Hold on, man.
I try to tell people, man, if everybody had that wild out era. We did, and right. Everybody had the wild out era, and I tell people, if you knew me from about 2005 to about 2012, yeah, I apologize. If you knew me from that time frame, I mean, I was a wild kid. I was wild. I was.
The young and dumb stage is what I call it.
It was
the young and dumb stage.
I went through my young and dumb stage, but I'm so grateful for the fact that I went through my young and dumb stage, because you got guys now, man, and hell, we almost 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, if they are 40, like some of us, I ain't age shaming here. I'm knocking on the door at 40.
I am too.
I don't know why I'm nodding my head. I'm knocking on the door of 27.
I'm like, no, I'm knocking on.
I thought I was a day over 21, but okay.
Well, you knocking on the door at 30.
Talk that ish, bunny.
There you go.
30 around the corner. I think I'm ready for it.
I still get caught. I still get the kitty right. So
Bunny Black don't crack. Shout out to our queens, man.
Bunny be 11 that goes.
I don't know what it is about what they call it. It's some gene that's in black women. What is it?
It's melanin.
That ain't the melanin. I saw it on Facebook and I felt smart for a moment. I was trying to remember it, but it's some gene that basically that's only in black women that they we can produce. Well, they can produce. We can't produce. We just sow the seed.
Right.
Black women can basically.
We just help them out.
Thank you for clarifying that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, black women can basically reproduce like any hue or any shade of melanin, and it's like I forgot. It's the Eve gene. That's what it's called. Boom. There we go. big ass head. Knowledge kicked in.
Here I am trying to type in.
It's the Eve gene. That's what it is. So
Yep, there it is.
Yep, it's the Eve gene, and only as indigenous to black women. So shout out to our queens on that one. That's big.
Got a comment real quick. Two things. One, got a comment from Malachi. He said, "Shouts out to you, Coach Quinn. People need role models like you."
For sure,
man,
for sure,
hey.
for sure.
And then second, I'm going to walk Stan now. He has to leave. He has
Yes.
to take care of some things in the morning. So
Bro, Stan.
Bunny and
The man.
Bernard,
Always.
The
So,
man.
the two B's, y'all go ahead and keep the conversation going. And I want to go ahead and discuss your overall time in the indoor football league.
Yes.
I know you brought
Great
up
time.
earlier River City
Oh,
River City Raiders.
Yeah.
Then you played for
St. Louis Attack, the
Yeah.
Missouri Monsters, we used to get it popping, baby. We used to get it popping.
That resume is popping.
Oh
That
yeah,
resume
man! Shout out to everybody in the indoor and arena football world, man, because we were some bad men, man, in a good way out there on the field. We was out there, we was out there ripping it up. So yeah, but what a lot of people don't know, Bunny, that in 2014 we actually almost won a championship for the city of St. Louis right here and playing arena football.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for the St. Louis Attack, man. And the crazy part about it is we pulled some 72 Dolphin swag, and we were undefeated, and we lost, and we lost in the eggs.
Championship game.
We lost in the Eggs Bowl with 39 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, you talk about a heartbreak.
Oh, heartbreaker.
Yeah, I don't want to go too deep into it, but we were title town before the Rams decided they wanted to exit and leave us. But yeah, we had some, and I had some great experiences playing arena football, man. It's fast. A lot of people don't realize how fast it really
it's quicker
is.
because the
Yeah.
boundaries, the sideline is smaller than
Yeah.
the regular NFL.
Yeah, the boundaries are smaller. You're talking about, you're basically playing on a 60 to 65 yard surface. And that's only about, 30 to 35 yards wide. And there is no sideline. You got
No
you
sideline.
got the boxes, but I meant to say there is a sideline, but there's no out of bounds. The out of bounds is the wall. And many of people have been baptized by that wall.
Boom, like that.
Yeah,
Boom, that.
I've seen people get knocked in the third row, and people's nachos and sodas become hood ornaments. people wearing concession stand food.
No bueno.
Yeah, you didn't came to Arena League game and you got your fly fit on, and you done went and bought your little date, some nachos and some in a slushy, and next thing you know, it's a 6'5", 220-pound wide receiver flying in your lap.
That's entertaining for me,
Yeah.
except I want reimbursement on my food. I
Yeah.
don't want to wear my food home.
You don't wear your food home. You don't. So yeah, my time in Arena League was amazing, man. I played with a lot of great guys.
I was gonna ask you that too. Do you still keep friendship or bonds with all the teams you played on? You still keep in contact
Absolutely.
with
Me and these guys, we pretty much we're brothers for life, man. We talk, if not every day, every other day. Facebook is just an amazing platform. I mean, it brings a lot of people together. They brought us together. Shout out to Smooth. Like I said, it's just one of those worldwide platforms that if you use it the right way, I mean, you could. I found family members, man, like literally that. I hadn't talked to in years, or even just being reacquainted with it, just using the platform. So, me and those guys, that I played arena ball with, we pretty much brothers in iron. Like we got a saying that it's deeper than football. It's always deeper than football. And these are guys that I've shed tears with. I've shared battlefields with. You know what I'm saying? So when it's something special about strapping that armor up and going head to head with your brothers, and when you got a guy that'll lay it on the line for you out there, you can trust them in your foxhole in life. So, I was blessed, man. I still was able to salvage a 7-year, professional career. Honestly, if you count the free agent side of it. So we talking about a total about, close to 10 years.
Yeah.
Chasing that dragon. So yeah.
Chasing
The dragon, baby. That's what we call it. We call it chasing that dragon. But it was, because it's always like that. It's like that mythical creature,
Right.
And some of us made it out. Some of us were able to get to that pinnacle, but it's not promised to everybody. And like I said, it's not to say that you don't have the skill set to get it done. It's not to say that you aren't good enough to make it to that level. It's just a business, and they're going to choose who they want to choose. And it's a lot of guys that get looked over, a lot of guys that get, that fall through the cracks. But you hear those success stories about guys who were substitute teachers or worked at a grocery store or drove a beer truck and, they got picked up, or even guys that were homeless, man, and they ended up, I can't think of the guy's name, but he plays for Cleveland now. And he was homeless, like literally like on the street. And he basically he told a little white lie, told a little fib. And he told the people that, he knew the GM. So they let him in the building and let him ball out at his workout. And he ends up making the team. So it's one of the greatest success stories in NFL history. But I'll always be attached to the game. Like it's just in me. You know what I'm saying? It's in my DNA. It's something that I love dearly. I'll always be around the sport. Any of my kids that I've been able to coach over the last 14, 15 years, they know they got an open door, to me. Any kid that I've ever taught, they know they got an open door with me, and I'm always going to be here for them, help them out. And it's crazy because I'm showing my age now, but again, I have players who are now husbands, they're becoming husbands and fathers now. So
yeah.
I'm watching where I was to where I am now, and my coaches before me, and you just got these generations of great men breeding young men, and that's always, been a slogan with a lot of coaches that I respect around the St. Louis area. Like I said, guys like Carl Reed and guys like Brandon Gregory, you know what I'm saying? Like these are guys that I've been around personally, you know what I'm saying? From a working standpoint, but also from a brotherhood standpoint. They pride themselves on breeding young men on and off the field. And that's our credo, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like a motto for us as coaches, as, not just in the St. Louis area, but just in life. We pride ourselves on breeding young men, and teaching these guys to be upstanding citizens, because they're going to be fathers and they're going to be husbands one day. Yeah. And, not just a number on a roster, or not just somebody just in the crowd and lighting it up. You look at it from a beneficial standpoint of what he's doing now, right, and what he's doing to produce on the football field. But you got to think that's going to be somebody's husband one day. That's going to be somebody's father one day. That's going to be somebody's boss one day. That's going to be a CEO one day. Like, we're putting those intangibles in those young men, and we sowing those seeds in them now so that later on in life they can make better and informed choices and decisions. Are we as men or coaches, are we perfect? Absolutely not. We're going to make decisions. We're going to make choices. It's not always going to be the best or the prettiest, but when it's all said and done, you got to know that when your heart is in the right place, it always work out for you. And that's what we try to put into our boys.
And speaking of one of the good guys, shouts out to Sean Smoke Dog Wilson.
Oh yeah, shout out Big Sean.
He's like, "What's good, my dude?
What's going on,
my
bro?"
nickname there, Smoke Dog.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he in the house.
My God. What's good with you, baby?
Yeah.
Appreciate you tuning in.
Oh yeah.
What
man.
up, though?
Fellow class of 2000 at the V right there, man. So shouts out to you, Smoke. Hope everybody
2000,
in the family. Yeah.
Man. Big love for the V, man. Big love for the V. The Wolverines, y'all was special back then, man. y'all had some.
Basketball or football?
Both. I mean, like we would skip some of our practices, man. Like I'm statute of limitation. I can say that now. We would like skip out sometimes, like not practices. We stayed at practice. We would skip school to go get Vashawn tickets, like to go to the big games. You know what I'm saying? Like when y'all were playing, whoever. You know,
Right.
we talking about like the the Jimmy McKinney and the Pope and the Nick Kern days, like they had like y'all had killers. Like we would love. Wow, man, we would go to all the games.
Yeah.
And we would literally like sneak out. We would skip
show.
school to go get tickets, man. We talking about one of the best, man, some of the best basketball you could ever see.
Hey, it was definitely a pleasure and a cool thing to be a part of that during that time. And I played with Joe Sheldon,
Oh yeah, man.
DJ Whitfield, Jesse Higgins, Jimmy, like you said. So
DJ
it was a fun era.
DJ was a savage, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to DJ.
Same thing with Smoke Dog. He
Shout out
was a
to
savage playing
DJ,
football.
man.
So
DJ had the sack, the state sack record for a little bit. He held that thing down for a little minute. I chased it, but hey, I tried. I tried. I think I figured in I finished in double digits, but it wasn't nothing up there like DJ.
yeah, man.
I think DJ had about 20 of them things, man. Just beasting.
Yeah, it was like
he was a savage.
It
man.
was like every quarterback sack he had, he threw them like rag dolls. It didn't matter. Like, seriously,
Man.
every guy that he tackled, he threw him down like boom.
Yeah, but DJ is a bad man on that football field back there for the V. So, yeah, man. Shout out to the Wolverines, man. Big love on my end, bro.
Yeah, as Smoke says, yes, sir. Loving the show right now. Thank you very much.
Man, right on.
Everyone watching, thanks for tuning in. Share. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button for us.
Yes, hit the bell, baby. Hit the bell.
Also subscribe, click on that bell.
Hit
there
the
it
bell
is.
and the like.
Ring the bell.
We talked about the indoor football league. What were your thoughts when the XFL came?
Man, the XFL situation was kind of bittersweet, and I make a personal connection with that because that was actually going towards what would be the tapering end of my career, playing pro football. I actually was still in free agency once our league folded in 2017. I was with the River City Raiders. And when our league folded, that kind of left a void. It was like a lot of unfinished business. But that was the thing with arena football that a lot of people don't know is you get a lot of owners who, if they don't have the big corporate backing, a lot of those leagues are funded by guys' personal wealth. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to create platforms and they're trying to create leagues that are going to give guys that pro shot. And I was one of those guys who got my shot, and I was able to play 7 years, but it was just a business, and right before we were going to make another solid playoff run, because we had another great team, the league folded right from up under us. It was like, we came to work one day and it was like, I don't know if y'all heard it or not, but the
Pink
league,
slip, here you go, have a nice life.
yeah, like here's your final game check. We apologize for the inconvenience, but it's over. It was like, damn, like this is what y'all do,
Man.
And unfortunately, and it's kind of sad, and and it's just my personal opinion to the people in the sports world. I'm just me being me and speaking on what my experiences were. But to me, like I said, in all love for the NFL is kind of like that. I don't want to say that it's almost like a bitter lover. It's almost like a bitter lover, and it's like I don't want you, but I don't want you with nobody else.
Nobody else either.
Does the connection hit home on that one?
Yeah.
Bitter lover.
It's like a bitter lover. It's like, I love you. I don't want you, but I don't want you to be happy with nobody else either.
That ain't the stupidest.
It's the stupidest thing ever. So you got people who are trying to get to that, they're trying to get to the league. They're trying to get to that level, but they're trying to stay relevant. So they're playing at these, farm club levels. But if you think about it, the NFL is the only sport that does not have a farm club system.
Yeah,
but it has the most.
leagues.
There you go, and it has the most physical demand on the body. So you're talking about a sport that is only condensed to a 53-man roster.
Yep.
But you want a 18, 19, 20 you want a 20 game schedule?
Uh-huh.
Bro.
Yep.
And
They
you know
know y'all
what?
are
And
indispensable the next man up just like that.
yeah,
Pump out people.
And when
For
the
that shot.
XFL came, I was like, you know, if they do it right, that could be kind of like
There you go.
the minor leagues of the
There you
NFL.
go.
Yeah.
You know,
and they were looking for that to be that. I would say from the owner's standpoint, because there were a lot of big premier owners, man, who was back in the league, and I was rooting for the XFL. And it was kind of like I said, to get back to my original, you know, bittersweet point. When the XFL was introduced, I was able to, you know, find some contacts and possibly, you know, work out for the Battlehawks. So this was going into what would have been my 8th year pro. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's get this XFL thing popping. So I'm back training. I basically just hit the ground running. You know, our league folded. We found out about the XFL thing coming to the crib. We get in a team. We like, dude, this is going to open up the floodgates for free agents. And with us being in free agency, with our league folding, it gave guys a spark. We like, man, look, we can make this team, bro. Like we can, like if we've been putting on for the crib on the Chitlin circuit, as we called it, certainly they gonna sign some St. Louis ballers to this team. But to our, you know, chagrin,
right?
they weren't taking the chance on signing guys that were in free agency unless you were attached to an NFL roster, an NFL practice squad, or you were directly out of college. So you left a whole demographic of seasoned veteran players like myself
They had nowhere to go.
that had nowhere to go.
Wow.
So at that moment, man, like that was like that hit me like a freight train, man. It was like, damn, like I'm not even gonna get a shot. Like y'all not gonna look at my film. Y'all not gonna let me come work these, you know, like literally, like I talked to one of the scouts. It was so crazy. I told the guy, like, look, man, just let me line up and do one-on-ones with any guy you bring in.
The main
I got to lose.
Flat
thing
man.
is just put me through that door, and I'll take care of the rest.
Thank you. And that was always
Put me in, coach.
That literally, like that was always my claim to fame from a free agent trying to make it into the NFL. Like I said, chasing that dream, chasing that dragon, to just all the way up until I finally decided to, you know, say, you know what, my mind and my body means more to me for my family than continuing on with this. So I was one of those guys where, you know, I was like, hey, you know what? I had a great career. I had a great run. And it wasn't no big announcement or big, you know, oh, let me do this big Facebook long dramatic post and I'm gonna bow out gracefully and I'm gonna retire. And no, I just disappeared into the shadow. You know? And I had a grieving period, you know what I mean? You love it, you know, but when you give yourself to the game and you've given yourself to so much of it, you know, from a player's aspect, when you've emptied the tank, as we say, you don't got no regrets. You don't. Because I gave my all, you know, as a player. You know what I'm saying? Like I bust my ass every rep, you know, like it wasn't a day that I was getting ready to walk in, I was gonna let up off the gas. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just that type of player. But I had moments, as any player would, where you doubt yourself, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, you come up in a situation where, you know, like I tell these kids now going into the next level, be prepared because you're walking into a buzzsaw and it's 6 or 7, sometimes 10 guys just like you.
Right.
If not better.
Take your spot.
And they're trying to take your spot. And not only are they trying to take your spot that year,
trying to take it right away.
they're going to keep taking it every year.
Yeah.
So it don't matter if you're a freshman, a sophomore, junior, whatever. They're recruiting people to come in and take your job.
Do you feel this generation of kids, because you brought it up earlier a few times about social media, you know, the influences, etc. Do you feel, or not influences, but maybe the peer pressures of being around social media, going to this, going to that, how it can cause maybe depression?
Yeah,
You know,
it
because
does.
of what
It
you
does.
see. So 2-part question. One, how is it now coaching this generation of kids?
Great question.
And then 2, do you feel the generation of kids are spoiled?
this generation of kids, I try not to compare them to our generation because it's not fair. You know, again, we were built completely different. These kids were this generation of kids were born in a spotlight, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So from the time these kids are 4 and 5, they are thrust into a world of competitive sports early where everything's televised. You know what I'm saying? Like like the revolution is televised.
Ask
like
Bronny James.
And there you go. And it's viral.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, you got nepotism, like you said, at its finest with sports figures, their kids. You know, you automatically these kids now are in an environment where their performances are always going to be evaluated, whether it's on an Instagram post, whether it's a Facebook post. Like everything that these kids do at the click of a button, a share button, is right there. We didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? We still had discretion. So like, you know, we brag a little bit on ourselves, but back then, like you had to be the man. Like for you to get notoriety and recruited, and you had these coaches coming to your games, running you down at practice, coming to your track meets, even in the off season, you still had coaches and recruiters coming in. You had to be that guy. These kids now are blessed with social platforms that I could send a kid's film to every coach in the country at the click of a button, and this kid will have 15, 16 offers the next morning.
Yep.
So you talk about just the recruiting pipeline, but the pressure is on a whole nother level too, because now everybody's watching everything you do. So you got to be careful now, because kids are getting thrown into an arena where they're getting introduced to having a brand early. And your name and your reputation is essentially your brand. So you got a kid 12, 13 years old. Now I got to watch what I put on social media. I got to watch what I say. I got to watch how I carry myself. But you're still forgetting that these are still kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Even at the college level, man, you got these kids, man, that are packing out stadiums. You know what I'm saying? That's why and honestly, people can get pissed off at me if they want to. I'm gonna say it. I'm all for these kids getting paid for their likenesses. I am. Because I was one of those.
Against it, because
Right.
I've been saying that.
I was one of those
I've
kids.
always said the NCAA
I was one of those
is
kids.
a cartel, and they
Yeah.
pay. These kids should be getting paid.
The-
People making too much
You said
billions of dollars.
the NCAA cartel. I like that. Yeah, you talk about one of the biggest entities in the world, Bunny, that's getting paid off the likeness and off the backs of kids. And you got kids, man. You go in these university gift shops and pro shops and university centers, and these kids' jerseys are hanging up in these shops, man. And this kid goes home and he's eating off the freaking dollar menu and top ramen. But I just packed out a stadium with 100,000 people.
Right.
And all these people got my jerseys on. But I'm going home and I don't got excuse my language, a pot to piss in or where to throw it out of. Like I don't have nothing. So I sympathize with these kids because I was that kid. You know what I'm saying? Literally, like we wasn't getting money in the summer times, but you know, we wanted you to be here so you could be dedicated to the team and work out during the summer. Okay, well, I'm not getting any. Y'all not paying for my housing, so whatever scholarship check I do get at the beginning of the year, I gotta pay my rent up for 7-8 months.
Right.
But you gotta think, you finna take a kid from the inner city of wherever, you're finna give that child a lump sum of money, who's never been taught financial literacy, by the way. You're finna give that child $8, $9, $10, sometimes $12,000, a lump sum in a check. Here you go. Do right by it. What do you think is gonna happen?
Man, probably within.
Nobody at that age. You come from.
I'm getting ready to go buy some rims.
I was gonna say within the
We're
week,
going to
you're
the
gonna
mall.
make some more money.
Right. Within that, man, you talking about, man, guys was running through them checks.
Within a week.
Man, we talking about weeks time.
Yeah.
Less than a month.
Yeah.
That money's gone.
And our love is not spent on materialistic stuff. You know, they like to send stuff home and try to help
Yeah, there you go.
this
You
person, that person, you know.
and that's an amazing point that you just brought up, Bunny, because you got kids that are the breadwinners in their homes. So they're taking care of relatives. Like these kids, like I knew personally guys that was paying their mamas and aunties and daddies utility bills and stuff, man. You know, with their scholarship checks. You know, we can barely keep the lights on, or you know, whatever was going on. You know, sending money home so they siblings and their little brothers and sisters could eat. Yeah. These are the horror stories that or the backstory, shall I say, that you really don't hear about Division I athletes. You know, so I'm all for them getting paid for their likenesses. Nah, man, if you got a kid that's your top tier guy on your campus or your football team and at the NCAA and the collegiate level, and he's running up numbers, he should get a percentage of those jersey sales, if not all of them.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on what Deion Sanders did going to Jackson State and what it means for other HBCUs, not just in football but just in sports period?
I love it. Everything about Primetime's decision to take the reins at Jackson State, it is going to solidify a solid pipeline of recruiting straight to. It's going to restore what the HBCUs honestly really used to be, because you're going to see an influx of those 4 and 5 star recruit kids. They're going to stay home now. You see what I'm saying? And it's not to say that you still gonna get some that are, of course, obviously gonna want to go play at your Power 5
at the
level.
Alabama.
Yeah, they want to go to your Bamas and your Clemsons and your Ohio States and your USCs and Miami's and Michigans. They gonna They want to go to the Power 5 conferences. You always gonna have that, but when it's all said and done, it's about fairness. And the thing that I love about what Primetime is doing with those kids is the fact that he's letting them know, hey, we gonna play hard. We're gonna love on you. We gonna work. But again, you're getting knowledge that is literally priceless from one of the greatest players of all time, and who's also a student of the game. So again, just shout out to everything that he's doing down there right now, man. He's already landed 2 of the top recruits in the nation right now.
Nice.
One of them is I know one kid is a D lineman, and another kid, I want to say I might have to fact check it, but he might be a linebacker or something. But he's doing numbers, and you already know he's gonna have a stellar coaching staff.
Got to.
He's gonna have one of the best coaching staffs.
He ain't called prime time for nothing.
No, come on, man. you know that, and look, and
he's gonna help change the culture, not just HBCUs, but you know, we as an HBCU alumni and all that, our schools are underfunded by
absolutely.
far.
And it's sad, man.
Even when you have alumni that give big dollar, is nowhere compared to other white institutions. So he's gonna definitely help to get the other money, like TV and other big sponsorships, to help and to get them up to where we can be almost on a playing field as a white school.
And like I said, shout out to Prime, and that was a great point. By the way, Bunny, my view on that scenario is he's going to open up the television rights area for HBCUs. Like
bring ESPN to Jackson State.
Absolutely, and I mean, come on, man. Primetime is a media circus. He brought that swag to Florida State back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying, when he was coming out. You know what I'm saying. So he created, like I said, that character. Prime, like he'll tell you, like, and he done it in interviews. Primetime was a character that I created in a dorm room at Florida State University. So I think it's the perfect storm of greatness that's getting ready to happen, and we're going to see a lot of our kids, recommit to going to HBCUs. Because I'm not even gonna lie, like our era, like the HBCU greatness was still intact. Like I was one of those kids who wanted to go to an HBCU. Like I wanted to go to a Grambling. Like I wanted to go to a Morehouse or a Jackson State or somewhere that had an elite, your UAPBs. Like I wanted to go to one of those big, one of those big programs. But I wasn't heavily recruited by HBCUs. I was heavily recruited by your Big 10s, your Big 12s, a couple SEC. So like I say, like a lot of Power 5 schools, a lot of Midwest schools, you know what I'm saying? So for me, being a byproduct of that, I kind of felt snubbed a little bit. But I was like, dang, you know, like I can't even get no love for my own, you know, my own people, you know.
No,
So,
it's not that.
but it wasn't that. Here you go. It wasn't that, and it took me some years to realize that with the funding, like they could only do so much, you know. So I was still blessed.
The resources.
It was the resources.
To travel to even mail you a letter that we interested cost money that they didn't have.
That's facts.
I know it sounds outrageous.
No, that's facts.
From HBCU, that's to work in a sports department.
Absolutely. So yeah, you dead on with that, and that definitely changed my whole view of the HBCU recruiting realm, because I had a skewed viewpoint of it, because it was like, dang man, like I ain't getting no offers from them, and like I actually wanted to go to a HBCU school, but like dang, it's like that. But again, when you have amazing institutions of higher learning and athletics that are underfunded, they're getting the short end of the stick. You see what I'm saying? So again, like I had to change my views on that. Like, damn, like, you know, they're limited. You know, to see like your Robert Morris's, like just see those schools like closed. Like, dude, like this is unheard of.
It's funding. It's
right to see an HBCU like literally to ride by, you know, a closed college, a historically black college, an amazing university, by the way. To see stuff like that closed, it's just it sickens you. It really does. You know, it just shows you that we're dealing with a whole nother systematic issue. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Don't let me get started.
Right. I'm like, I can go there if I want to. But
I'm just saying, because it's hit home, because we're dealing with this right now in your state of Missouri, in Jefferson City. Those legislators do not give Lincoln University, my alma mater, the matching funds they're supposed to.
Shout out to the Blue Tigers, baby.
All day, every day, it's funded and then some. And we've been dealing. It's a federal law, and they still don't abide by it. We're fighting them now on it. Yeah. We ain't talking about the sports part. We're just talking about give our funding so we can get our academic stuff together. And this is a federal law from 1890. And this is 2020. We still fighting y'all to get crumbs. And these people are getting gold bricks. Because we at HBCU. Forget them black kids. We're going to handle these kids.
Yeah. We're gonna keep sending more money and surpluses to all these other state-funded schools. You know what I'm saying? Like, they print money. Yeah. It's just like Money said, they give me gold balls, gold bricks. So, yeah. And trust me, and then them same institutions that we talking about that's printing money and just sitting on wealth, you got kids that are creating more wealth, like, think about the NCAA, think about the basketball tournaments. Think about the NCAA playoff football scenarios. These institutions are grossing billions of dollars. And you mean to tell me all this boy can get is a sweatsuit? Right. You finna give him a travel suit and that's it?
And tell them you better be grateful for that.
And you better be grateful for it. So, a travel suit, a couple pair of shoes, and a gym bag. And a gym bag. And you better be grateful for that. And anything else I give you is going to be an NCAA violation. What? That's erroneous, bro. Yeah. It's horrible.
And Smooth knows it, because I always quote this. NCAA, I told you that's a cartel, but these state institutions or colleges that are not private, they are for private colleges. I don't care what they say. I don't care what state funding they get. Those are for-profit colleges. Because if your stadium costs millions of dollars, and you do budget cuts on education programs and departments.
Yeah, I do budget cuts.
Tell me
I got enough.
I'm in another world, I'm on a twilight zone, or if that ain't for a profit.
You got enough money, you didn't just build $1 billion stadium, but y'all cutting the music program, and y'all cutting out the physical education program, or y'all cutting out the nursing program. You know what I'm saying? You're cutting out the jobs that are creating essential workers. You see what I'm saying? On these college campuses, they're cutting those majors out. but you just built a $5 billion stadium.
For profit,
For
because
profit.
of the pandemic going on, and you're saying still, yeah, we're going to go ahead and let some of these schools and
Yeah.
conferences play.
And we ain't
We
gonna
got
talk about
some
the
schools that are doing cuts.
Man.
University of California, Riverside had to make that decision to cut the whole sports program at that college, all 11,
Yeah.
because they don't have the funding for it. If
Think-
that's the problem, I said, then that means y'all are for profit. You can't afford to do this, but you can, your profits. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting there putting kids, even though it's optional, to play through a pandemic where they got to do COVID tests and all this and that.
Absolutely.
And kids aren't even on campus, though. But you can go let them play. It's all about profits. Profits over people. I get it.
Yeah.
But just don't say we're just an academic institution. NCAA getting fractions for people to receive funding, like little checks here and like you said, for your likeness.
Yeah.
If it's not hypocrisy at its best, I don't know what is.
Man, you killed
She
it.
on it.
You killed it.
She on it.
I'm sorry it got off
No,
topic,
no,
y'all,
that's
but just
perfect.
sometimes when I
Yeah.
get started, because I'm like, my passion is there, because I just don't like inequality, and we have way too much money, resources,
Absolutely.
talent, all of that, and it's still not even half of a fair playing field. Not a fair playing
it's
field,
not
just
fair at
half.
all.
We're not even there.
Yeah, it's not fair at all. You talk about like just you think about the TV rights and the TV deals that these major networks are getting, like for Alabama and Notre Dame and all that stuff. If you just gave, sadly, if you just gave a fraction of that money to HBCUs towards their marketing, towards their facilities being renovated, we're talking about brand new campuses, the beautification of so many different campuses with just a fraction of that money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't talking about the full load. We ain't talking about the whole pie. You know, you drop, you know, $2 to $5 billion in HBCU renovations. Like just if you took that $5 billion alone and put that into renovations just for those schools, you know what you could do with that money?
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep, it is. So as we wind down on this show, which has been incredible, and for everyone watching and tuning in, thank you very much. Hope y'all been sharing. Hope y'all follow us on all our social media pages on your screen. What does it mean to you to be a philanthropist, entrepreneur, author, motivational speaker?
Man, it means the world to me because I was given a gift, you know, just to be able to motivate and empower. And that's one of the things that, like I said, I give, you know, God all the glory for. You know, I wouldn't be where I am if it was not for God. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, my life was spared, straight up. I was completely doing all kind of stuff out here at one point. But man, for me, like I said, once I got, you know, grounded in my faith, you know, like I said, my aunts, my mom, my grandfather, you know, like these are people, you know, my grandmother, like they planted the seeds, you know. So I found my way back home. You know, parents always lead that trail of breadcrumbs. You know what I'm saying? Like it might have always, you know, I always joke with my mom, you know, all the time. I would tell her, you know, like I may not look like I'm listening. I might not look like it, but it sunk in, you know, and it penetrated the thick skull, but. It just means the world to me, man, to be a servant, you know what I'm saying, and give back, you know. We do a lot of events, you know, in our own hometown, like right over in Walnut Park, man. You know, we do our backpack drive. We do a lot of our food giveaways. We actually in the process of revamping some of our outreach ministries and expanding, but, you know, we're always looking for like-minded people, different companies to partner with, prospective donors, things like that, because we love putting on, you know, for our city, you know, for the right way. And if ain't nobody gonna take her home like it's on, you see what I'm saying? Like we, you know, it's easy for somebody from the outside to come in and say, hey, you know, yeah, we want to do this for you guys. But when you got people that are from that area coming back to give back, that's love.
Yeah.
You know, so just being able to motivate and inspire, to serve, really, that's honestly, man, that's what I'm here for, you know. And, you know, honestly, as you know, as Muhammad Ali said it best, you know, giving back and service is how you pay for your rent here on earth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you pay for your room in heaven later on. So it ain't, I don't do it for clout. I don't. A lot of stuff I do, I don't even post. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just between me and God. Like I don't gotta do it for shine. A lot of people are doing it for likes, and they're doing it. You know, it's to me. I've even had to check myself on a certain level aspect. I'll take a few pictures indirectly of stuff at our events just to let people know like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Right.
But I'm never going to videotape a hand-to-hand exchange, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't the why would I want to videotape or document somebody at their lowest?
Right.
Just to make me look like I'm on a pedestal. You see what I'm saying? And people do that, and I actually had to, I kind of had to check myself on some scenarios with that, because I wasn't like trying to basically document myself doing it. It was just the fact that, we were just trying to bring awareness to what we were doing. But then it dawned on me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm from the hood. So it was the left hand and the right hand scenario, you know what I'm saying? And that's in the word too, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. With your left hand and your right hand, and not letting one know what the other one was doing and all that stuff. So for me, it was just like, all right, man, let me change my approach a little bit to this. But, and then it's just moving in silence. You know what I'm saying? If you giving back and you doing what you need to do, that's just between you and the king. Right. You ain't gotta blow that up. Yeah, you can, create an event on Facebook and let them know, hey, this is what we're going to be doing, blah, 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 such and such date. Come on out. Feel free to volunteer. That's it. We'll take a few pictures after the fact to post on our website, but it'll never be a direct shot of somebody getting something, or it might be an off guard shot, or it might be, you don't want to, it's just, I felt bad about that, earlier on, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I was, young and getting into ministry and really getting our charity off the ground, because we was really gung ho, and it was like, man, I want to document everything. I want the world to see what we doing. And then God started kind of dealing with me like, yeah, I love what you're doing, but who you doing it for? Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I got checked real quick. So, I said it was, that's just me, man. But no, that was a great question. I do everything I do, man, for the glorification of God. It ain't about me. I'm just a vessel. You know what I'm saying? So if I can help anybody along their journey, if I can motivate or inspire, some young man or some young woman along the way, like, I did my job, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Well, brother, it's definitely been a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Appreciate y'all having me, man. Definitely a blessing, man. I appreciate y'all. Much love, man. Much love, yes. And I'm definitely a fan of the show. I'll say that not just from me being on it, I'm just saying just the content, everything that was talked about, like the knowledge was just amazing. Man.
Yeah, man. And Bunny, it never ceased to amaze me. Being able to
shout out,
hear your passion every week about certain topics. Hey, it's great. It's great content.
That's right.
For the show, because it's not about me. It's about we're
gonna put Bunny on partner in the interruption, representing the loop.
Exactly. Hey, matter of fact, just wait, because starting in December, I'm setting up a breaking news, I guess. Every first Wednesday of the month, it's gonna be ladies' night.
That's gonna be dope.
So, so Bunny,
that's gonna be dope.
Bunny, be prepared to hold that down. I'll be doing a lot of producing and behind the scenes. I'm gonna let you hold that down. You know what I'm saying? So get ready. But every first Wednesday, ladies' night is gonna be a collection of ladies, whether they're in person or via Zoom, and it's gonna be just some great conversations.
Going down.
Platform
get
sports
ready,
show.
Get ready.
Yes, we doing some big things here. Real quick before we go, scarier team, Steelers or Chiefs?
Woo, scarier team. I'm going to have to say right now, probably the Steelers. They're scary. And they're scary in a good way. You talk about Big Ben coming back off that major surgery, man, and lighting it up. Offensively, the Steelers have always historically drafted very well. And you talk about like dominant receivers. You got Claypool. Golly, what's my Juju? It's another guy. I can't think of his name. Number 8, I think it's 18. Forgot his name. They're loaded, man, and they got weapons and like interchangeable weapons, and they got a great running game. I mean, they drafted the pride of the bluegrass. Shout out to Benny Snell from Kentucky Wildcats. I mean, you got James Conner. I mean, you got a hell of a run game.
Yeah, and in the defense.
And you just took that was the cherry.
That's it.
The defense.
That's it.
Oh my God. The steel curtain defense has been resurrected, man. Them boys are playing some ball. Yeah. And I'm talking about they getting after the passer. They are rushing the passer successfully. I want to say they're probably leading the league in quarterback hits, sacks, whatever. I mean, like they shutting it down, man. And they're good. And they're good coverage. They're covering great on the back end too, because they got a veteran secondary now. You know, you got Joe Hayden anchoring that secondary, and then you just brought in Minka Fitzpatrick too. Right. So I mean, yeah, they're killing right now.
How big of an impact will Antonio Brown have for the Buccaneers?
Great question. I'm a firm believer in second chances. I really pray that.
I mean, how about 50?
Well, should I say 50? should I say 50? I believe AB learned his lesson. Sometimes, man, God will sit you down, man, and you gotta
humble yourself.
You gotta humble yourself. Yeah, you gotta take that. Hey, like
that humble pie, baby. Doesn't taste any different.
I don't know if my big brother Rolando Merriweather is watching, man. But shout out to Ro. He would always tell you, hey, can't nobody whoop you like God, boy. Straight up. And he's just being real.
Facts.
It's just humility. So I think with the time that AB's had away from the game, I think that's going to put him on a collision course to realizing, like, football is a privilege. It's not a right. And the game has been taken from me. And it can be taken from me again, because he's still not out the woods, ladies and gentlemen.
No, he ain't.
He's in there. He's awaiting trial. Yep. And I pray for the best outcome.
Next
I really
month.
do. I don't want to see no self-respecting brother or sister wants to see our people jammed up in the system. We don't. I don't get gratification out of seeing a brother in chains. That's country to me. That's whack to me. It really is. You know, people that prey on the system. So I hope everything works out for AB in Tampa. I didn't know Tom Brady had put out a petition, man, to amongst the team and the GMs, like, hey, like, we lobbying to get this guy here, give him another chance. So that speaks volumes, you know, to me about TB12. You know, again, like, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, you know, play the game. I ain't gonna call him the GOAT though. I ain't gonna call him the GOAT.
You said I ain't gonna take it that far.
I'm gonna take it that far. He's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not gonna call him the GOAT. Y'all, it's a whole bunch of guys that y'all are overlooking. Joe Montana. Shameless plug. But again,
no,
I'm rooting for AB. I am from a champion to another champion. I want that man to win. You see what I'm saying? Like I want him to get it right this time. You know, and all he had to do the last go round was just shut up.
That's it. Just go there and play, go home,
and shut up.
Practice, go play. That's it.
He would have got a 30, like, was it 29 million? 39,
the money was right there.
$30 million. And
you being
contract.
extra.
Just shut up.
You being extra.
I would have been like Wile E. Coyote.
But that's part of that humble pie that because he want them checks again. He missed them checks real fast.
Yeah, especially when you live in that lifestyle and you got bills to maintain, and you got to think, man, that some of these guys' cribs and their cars and kids to take care of, man. Some of these dudes' monthly expenses was over 100 G's. Literally, we talking about 100 racks in car notes, mortgages, life, you know, just lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Your bills $100,000.
You know, it's other people.
So, last question: who's the best wide receiver in the game right now?
Ooh, best wide receiver in the game right now. I would have to say, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little biased right now, because like I said, I'm a Panthers fan, and we got a dynamic duos lighting up right now, DJ Moore and Anderson. They lighting it up right now. But hands down, man, I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to roll with DK.
Hey, I say the same thing.
I gotta roll with
I'm about to say the
DK.
same thing. DK is changing the game.
Metcalf is single-handedly
Changing the game. Yes.
reforming the position right now, and with a close second right behind him, Chase Claypool. Claypool he's special. Like you talking about, like he with him being a rookie and what he's doing right now, it's gonna be scary to see what Claypool's doing in the next 3 to 5 years. But between him and DK, like DK is single-handedly revolutionizing the way the receiver position is being played.
I mean, like you said, just a
Yeah.
freaking nature,
It's a
but then
freak of
he
nature,
can run
man.
like a freaking gazelle.
This dude literally. Do you know they clocked him at almost 24 miles an hour?
Yeah.
When he ran down Buda Baker.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I watched it live. I watched that play live, and I think I woke my wife up. I was screaming. I was screaming like I was in the game.
Right,
I was like, oh shit.
that's crazy.
He ran the dude down at 24 miles an hour at 108 yards.
Something.
He walked him down.
It was an amazing thing to see.
As we say, hawked him.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So that is our show for the evening. Once again, we hope that y'all enjoyed it. Once again, go to the bottom of the screen. Follow us on all different social media pages.
Bing.
Hit that like on YouTube.
Yes.
On this video.
Yes.
Let everybody know what's going on, because the next thing we want to do is get syndicated.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Big things on the way for the Platform Sportstalk show. So
We're gonna
give us.
speak it into existence right here, baby. Yes, sir.
Manifestation.
Speak it into existence. That's
It
right.
is. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, next week's show, a guy who also went to the V during his high school years, and now he's a defensive coordinator, also coaches the safeties. Got my boy Damian Mitchell.
Let's go, D-Man.
As our special guest. He'll be live here in the Getaway. He's also a promoter. If you don't know, he be having a lot of events, man. So talk about that as well.
Some of the dopest parties in the city, man.
Hey,
Dopest parties in the city.
For real though?
Yeah.
So a whole lot going on for this show, man, and me being a DJ as well. Shout out to Spook Motivation Productions. We gotta talk about some stuff.
Black business.
Yeah. And so everyone, thanks for watching. Stand, get some rest. You gotta get up early in the morning, make that money legally.
Get that paper.
Don't let that money make you.
That legal paper.
Bunny, thank you again for everyone who tuned in.
Thank you all.
We definitely appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you.
Oh no, you killed it. You killed it, man. Shout out to y'all having me, man. That means a lot, bro.
Yeah, much love, man.
Much love.
Get them shares going, y'all, because it's the Platform Sports Talk Show. Your boy Smooth along with
Bunny.
and special guests.
Shout out to kings around the country. From a king to another king, royalty speaks, baby. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Bernard Quinn, a.k.a. King B, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Smooth Bunny, thanks y'all for having me. Stan, I don't know if you in the bed. Appreciate you being on too, man. Love it, man. Love what y'all doing, bro. I love it, man. Love what y'all doing with the platform. So
Thank you very much, man. And
yes, sir.
when it's about sports,
It becomes our business.
and business just picked up. We out, right. We out.